Welcome back, everybody. Lambeau Field, the Packers and the Dolphins, and just in time, the sky's open for kickoff, Brian. And, you know, it's nice for us up here. We're in the booth, but Andy Kendi looking like a wet rat down there. Andy, what's going on?
Yeah, and let me tell you that this is rain. This is not sweat. You know I'm a sweater, but this, in fact, is rain. Now, when talking to Bob Harlan, I asked him when he got here this morning. He said he got here at 7:30 a.m. and the tarp was already on the field. Now, the tarp stayed on the field until about 5:40 tonight, at which time, yeah, the field was a little wet, but it was just damp. It was no big deal. But since the rain started falling heavily for the last 15 minutes, the field has gotten really, really, really wet. So we'll have to see how the Packers' cleats hold up. Normally, when the field gets to this type of activity, they'll go to a longer cleat. We'll have to see what kind of footing holds true tonight, Chris and Brian.
As long as you keep your footing, Andy.
Yeah, I'll try.
It looked like you had a hood there. You might want to use that.
You know, Chris, the great thing about these kind of conditions, well, for a guy like myself that was never the quickest of foot outside, it really slows the action down. It kind of brings the game right to you from the standpoint of there's not a lot of wiggle in the game when it gets wet and soggy. It's a straight-ahead ball game. It'll be interesting to see where the advantage is, whether it'll be the wide receivers, the running backs, or the linebackers and the defensive linemen.
And the other thing to watch too, Brian, a lot of guys have had groin injuries. As you see Murray go down on the kickoff on this field tonight, they'll be guys to watch. I doubt they'll get a lot of minutes. Allen Rossum, Pro Bowl alternate a year ago, shakes and bakes out to the 30-yard line, so the Packers will take over their market at the 29. Darrell Porter with the tackle, 22 yards on the return. And the Packers will go 1st and 10. And Rondell Mealy will be the starting halfback tonight for the Packers. And he's drawn a lot of comparisons, Brian, to Edgar Bennett in the way he runs with that high knee style. Edgar was one of the classic mutters. Maybe Rondell Mealy will be the same.
He has a very similar stature and running style as Edgar Bennett, and even wearing the same number really throws that comparison right in front of you.
We'll check the call on the tackle on the kickoff, the force out of bounds. Actually, Jamar Fletcher, the former Badger, #1 pick of the Dolphins. Here go the Packers, 1st and 10. Schrader on a crossing route. Schrader, well, that ball is a little slick. 21 yards on the gain for Schrader inside Dolphins territory. Terry Cousin forcing him out of bounds.
Anytime the Green Bay Packers can get a matchup like they had right here, you're going to see Brett Favre drop in the pocket from the end zone, and watch the little linebacker in the middle is going to have to chase down Billy Schrader. And anytime you can get a linebacker, and I don't care if he is a Pro Bowler, you get a wide receiver locked on a linebacker, and the wide receiver obviously is going to win that race.
That was Zach Thomas, played in his 2nd straight Pro Bowl last year, Brian, as the Dolphins sent a slew of guys over to Hawaii. Their defense was outstanding a year ago. Packers 1st and 10, 49, and William Henderson gets the give, and William Henderson goes right back to the 49. Let's go through the opening lineups now for tonight. We'll start with the Packers offensive line. Mark Tauscher at right tackle. Mike Sherman called him rock solid. Marco Rivera, Mike Flanagan still taking over for Frank Winters. That's his job now. Mike Wall at left guard and Chad Clifton at left tackle. We look at the offensive backfield. Brett Favre at quarterback, of course. Rondell Mealy seems to be ahead of the other two in that race for the 3rd running back position. William Henderson, the fullback, an unsung hero for Mike Sherman. Bill Schrader. Donald Driver gets the start for Antonio Freeman tonight out with the concussion. And Bubba Franks with 4 catches in the preseason at tight end. We'll set the Dolphins for you after this next play. 2nd and 10 for the Packers, the 49. There's Mealy. Big hole offside. Mealy thundering down to the 40. And the Packers will be 3rd and short. Zach Thomas with the tackle there. Let's take a look at the Miami defensive front. Jason Taylor coming off a Pro Bowl performance at right defensive end. Jermaine Haley at left defensive tackle for the injured Tim Bowens. Ernest Grant gets the start tonight in place of the injured Darryl Gardner. Kenny Mixon at one end. Twan Russell, Zach Thomas, and Derek Rogers, the linebackers. We take a look at the Miami secondary. Ben Kelly for the injured Patrick Surtain. Sam Madison, one of the best in the business at right corner. Trent Gamble, a late start tonight in place of Brian Walker at strong safety, and Brock Marion, the veteran, at free safety. 3rd down and short. Mealy. 1st down. Mealy inside the 35. That ball is down. That ball is down as they slide away.
Two things that are great to see thus far already is the offensive line establishing the line of scrimmage, their dominance. They're really running the ball well, and granted, Rondell Mealy is making some great cuts right here, but you'll see the line of scrimmage move with the offensive line, and just a very nice cut by Rondell Mealy. And if you'll remember, these are the conditions that Edgar Bennett just tore apart the Chicago Bears.
He was one of the great mutters, wasn't he, Brian?
He doesn't like that analogy, though.
I know, but he could run, and that's what Ron Wolf called him. They loved Edgar Bennett in November and December. He was terrific. Two tight ends now, both split wide. David Martin to the top, Bubba Franks to the bottom. Two receivers in the slot. Going for Bill Schrader. Schrader has it, drops it out of bounds. Sam Madison on the coverage. That pass incomplete.
Well, Favre had it on the money, and obviously you can tell with the rain that has come down, it's subsided somewhat right now. But the ball, Billy Schrader on his first catch, lost the ball running down the sidelines, and here's a pass that Billy Schrader obviously should have got, and look at the ball come out of Brett's hand.
It's knuckler.
Yeah, it's wobbling. That ball has got to be very, very slick and right through Billy Schrader's hands. And sometimes those gloves that you see Bill Schrader have on right there, those aqua gloves, sometimes those can actually get a little bit more slippery as they get wet.
Bill Schrader in the preseason, you saw the numbers, 3 catches now. Second down and 10 from the Dolphins 34. Little misdirection out to Mealy. Mealy's got some room. Rondell Mealy loses it, but he was already out of bounds. And that's down to the 21-yard line. Twan Russell on the tackle. The Packers 1st and 10. Getting very close to the red zone. Rondell Mealy looks like he's been playing already for 60 minutes. He's been a workhorse. You see him receiving 6 catches. He's the leading receiver on this team in terms of numbers of catches. He's also the leading rusher with 19 carries. So Mealy has been a workhorse. And Brian, maybe that's surprising given where he's coming from and that big knee injury a year ago that usually takes longer to come back from, but he certainly held up well under the workload. 28 total yards for Mealy. Packers 1st and 10 from the 21. Mealy again. Mealy down to the 17, and now the Packers are in the red zone.
I'll tell you, this offensive line is doing a number on a very, very good. Granted, Miami's missing a couple guys up front, but they're doing a great job against a very, very superb defensive line. See, Rondell Mealy, I'm hoping he's only tired. I think that's the case right there. But
all right, let's take a look at what the Packers have done in the red zone. So much work in training camp to improve. Just 49% touchdown ratio a year ago. Thus far hasn't been very good. 6 possessions in the red zone in the preseason, 3 field goals, a touchdown, and a fumble. They need to improve. This first unit offense hasn't scored a touchdown in the preseason.
There you go.
That's why Kenny Mixon isn't a cover corner, Brian.
Well, actually, I think that might have possibly been a defensive lineman that realized Bubba Franks was trying to just give him the old decoy and then slip out.
Correction, defense, 5 yards, automatic first down.
This is a very difficult play for a defensive lineman to dissect because Bubba Franks is going to block him, and as soon as Brett does the fake, the defensive lineman looks inside for that, and that's when he started to throw Bubba, but that's when he realized Bubba was going out for the pass play. So he just kind of held on to Bubba for a while.
Packers seem to be going a lot of misdirection early in the game. They have seen something with the Dolphins, I guess, in terms of pursuit, Brian, and it's been open for them.
Well, I don't know if it's pursuit or they were just a little bit worried about the pressure that Brett Favre has been under thus far this year in the preseason. And now you get him out of the pocket and get a little, as you mentioned, Chris, some misdirection.
3 wide receivers. Bradford, this is Whisper Goodman, had the great game against the Dolphins last year in the preseason at Miami, but nothing doing there. He'll actually lose a couple. Derek Rogers, the tackle for the Dolphins.
There's not much you can do when a situation like that arises at a running back. You can't blame that on Herbert Goodman. Obviously there was nobody on the corner outside as he got out off the tackle. 3 defenders out there, and Herbert did the wise thing. Sometimes you see a running back try to wiggle back and turn around and change field directions, and he did the wise thing, just put his head down and try to get whatever he could out of it.
9th play of the drive here for the Packers. 2nd down and 11. Goodman and Henderson in the backfield. Favre drops, looks, moves, fires, tipped away at the last minute by Sam Madison.
Offensive line doing an excellent job giving Brett time, though. He was back in the pocket and did a good job of maintaining the cup where Brett sits back in there, and Brett moved around. We'll see a great replay, great angle right here. Mike Flanagan right off to Brett Favre. You'll see him set the pocket perfect. Mostly one-on-one blocking around. You got double outside, and Brett slipped right outside the pocket. And you're going to see a tremendous defensive play by Sam Madison, and he's one of the best in the business. He came back, and he lost Billy Schrader at the back of the end zone. Don't keep talking, Sam. Schrader might come back and get you.
21 interceptions the last 4 years. That's the 2nd best total in the NFL. And 3rd and 12 now for the Packers. Hoping not to bog down in the red zone again. They'll go screen, and that screen goes right down. Herbert Goodman got tangled up. Down he went. They track him down at the 11, and here comes Ryan Longwell.
Unfortunate that Herbert Goodman actually ran up the back of Mike Wall, setting the screen outside, and catches the ball, and again Green Bay stumbles in the red zone.
Well, let's hope Rob Davis doesn't stumble. He had a poor night snapping the ball against the Broncos, the one that went awry, a couple off target. Let's see how he does. Right down the pipe, and Longwell delivers. Packers on the board first. They take their opening drive and score a field goal. Packers lead the Dolphins 3-0. We'll come back to Lambeau after these messages on the Packers Television Network.
How's this for an adrenaline rush? Get a 2001 Chevy Silverado half-ton extended cab four-wheel drive and take advantage of up to $2,500 in combined cash back and factory-to-dealer cash incentives. See dealer for residency and other restrictions. Or hurry in for a 2001 Chevy S10 with $2,500 cash back. Makes your votes quick in just thinking about it. Get great offers on select Chevy trucks. See your local Chevy dealer.
Introducing the Main Street Deli from Roundy's. It's as close as you can get to homemade and not live with your mother. It's lean and tender cold cuts. It's delectable deli salads. It's tempting desserts. Even gourmet pizzas you can take and bake at home. Okay, so the macaroni salad has a little more celery than I'd add. But for not mine, it's pretty good.
Look for Roundy's Main Street Deli items at Pick and Save. It's the easy route to a great meal.
Hey guys.
Nice hat.
Hey!
Back the pack with this sporty Packers ball cap from Citgo. It's yours for only $5.99 with an 8-gallon fill-up. Plus, you can enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to Super Bowl 36. Come into Citgo and show your Green Bay spirit.
Great hats.
No.
Packer football brought to you by Chevy Truck, like a rock. Hardee's, the way food ought to be.
Packers take their opening drive and get a field goal, although they were close. They couldn't get that touchdown. The first unit still has not scored a touchdown yet in the preseason, but they'll take the lead 3-0. The rain has subsided. Chris Chambers, the second-round pick and rookie out of Wisconsin, back to receive along with Rob Conrad for the Dolphins. Very short kick by Longwell. Bounces at the 17. That's a live ball. Chambers trying to get out of trouble. Down he goes at the 18-yard line, and that's where the Dolphins will begin. And Andy Kendi down on the field. And Andy, I don't know what you said, but at least you got the rain to stop.
Chris, yes, it's official. The rain has stopped, at least for now. You know, this is the 52nd annual Shrine Game, which raises money for Shrine Children's Hospital. It's raised about $2.5 million for those good causes. And, you know, the first Shrine Game happened in 1950. That's when the Packers beat the Colts 16-14 in front of a crowd of 17,000 fans at State Fair Park in West Dallas, just outside Milwaukee. Chris?
Thank you, Andy, the resident historian, Kendi, for the broadcast. 1st and 10 for the Dolphins. Jay Fiedler back to pass, looking for James McKnight. McKnight slips down after a gain of about 8. McKnight, the free agent acquisition from the Dallas Cowboys. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for these Dolphins. Todd Wade at right tackle. Todd Perry comes over as a free agent from the Chicago Bears at right guard. Tim Ruddy, the Pro Bowl center. Mark Dixon and Marcus Spriggs, a free agent acquisition from the Buffalo Bills. The backfield looks like this. Jay Fiedler has had an outstanding preseason. Lamar Smith, what a tremendous playoff performance he had last year against the Colts, over 200 yards. Rob Conrad, James McKnight, Chris Chambers getting the start for Aronde Gadsden, and Hunter Goodwin, the starting tight end. 2nd down and 2 for the Dolphins. Smith, right side, pushes Sharper out of the way and picks up the 1st down for the Dolphins. Let's take a look at the Packers starting defensive front as they start to get healthy now here in the preseason. Vonnie Holliday at left defensive end. Jim Flanagan from Southern Door at defensive tackle. Russell Maryland, first action of the preseason, had that bad back. John Theory playing tonight. Katie Williams in place of Niall Diggs, still hurt by the groin injury. Bernardo Harris, fixture middle linebacker. Chris Gizzi, the weak side. Mike McKenzie, Tyrone Williams, first action of the preseason. Darren Sharper and Leroy Butler. Now the Packers go with their nickel. Smith driven down to the turf by Russell Maryland. Flags on the play.
Russell hasn't had much chance to participate in practice at all. Let's hear the call.
Holding, 63 offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
Russell gets a tackle, but won't get official credit for the tackle.
He's been a bitter battle, and he's actually had to been forced to get out to practice because, again, there's some difficult decisions that the Packers are going to have to make on the defensive line. You've got Russell Maryland, and we're going to get to see the Gravedigger. Big Gilbert Brown is going to get an opportunity, and you factor in there Cletus Hunt's situation with his suspension coming up. They're very deep, an awful lot of talent, and some decisions have to be made.
Everybody knows Russell has a pretty big salary for a guy. If he's got back problems, you don't know if you can roll the dice with something like that. Fiedler now on 1st and 20 for the Dolphins. Back to pass, sets up the screen to Smith. Smith across the 30, there's a flag down. Smith rumbles out to the 40. That'll be good enough for a first down, but let's check the flag.
I think you're going to probably have offensive linemen downfield, and it's a little quick for those guys to get up on Bernardo Harris. I saw a couple of those guys knocking some of our backers around, but before that ball was ever out. I love it when I'm right. You know that? I don't miss many of those.
Tell you what,
Ineligible downfield, 75 offense, 5 yards, repeat first down.
That's a unique play because it's mostly a timing play. The offensive linemen have to realize they've got to have at least a 3 to 5 count before they get downfield. And in that case, they went down, and like I said, I saw them up on the backers so quick it was impossible that they had that 3 to 5 count.
tell you what, those NFL officials getting a workout working these two games. That crowd cheer you hear is because that man is in the game. Gilbert Brown's first action since the '99 regular season finale in which he hurt his knee, and of course out of football a year ago. Fiedler, all kinds of time. Oh, Darren Sharper by Butler. Now they're ruling that ball hit the ground.
Didn't have control of it. They're saying he didn't have control of it. Oh, Darren Sharper.
Put a lick on Chris Chambers. Welcome back to Wisconsin. Thank you very much.
He's had a tremendous training camp, and 2 weeks ago in Cleveland, he just busted up his Mark Casebaharn, his own guy. But you can see here, Darren Sharper's bringing the business. What a tremendous. Now that's, last week Mike Brown from Denver was fined for a helmet-to-helmet hit, and there you can see a great job of Darren Sharper putting the shoulder into him rather than the helmet. Smart play by Darren.
Brings up 2nd and 25 for the Dolphins. Chris Chambers still waiting for his first reception back in Wisconsin. That was rather a rude reception by Darren Sharper. Pass out to McKnight in the flat. John Theory on pursuit takes him down. Tyrone Williams on the coverage. That'll set up a 3rd and long for the Dolphins. Brian?
Well, I think the 3 things that are key to the Green Bay Packers victory tonight is obviously what they did in that first drive. The pass-to-run ratio for them. They came out, they established a running game which allowed them to play action pass. They've got to be productive on first down, which they also did in that first drive, the first unit, gaining first downs and making it 2nd and short. And here, they've got to be more aggressive on defense. I think they're going to bring a little bit more of their defensive package. They didn't game plan this, but obviously I think they want to throw a little bit more at Miami than they have in the past.
Our Toyota keys to winning tonight, 3rd and 16 for Fiedler, under pressure from Holiday. Wow, there was all kinds of contact out there between Robert Baker and Antoine Edwards. It's incomplete, and the Dolphins will be forced to punt. Terrific showing by the Packers defense against a first-unit Dolphins offense that has just been rolling over people, Brian.
They put up some big numbers against their last 3 opponents, and yes, you'd have to say our defensive scheme right now is bend but don't break, and when they can come out and right now it's 4th and 15. Miami would like to go the other way, but Green Bay has them going in the right direction.
Matt Turk, former Whitewater product, kicking for the Dolphins. Alan Rossum going to stay away from that one. That ball was touched down, I think, around the 38-yard line, so that's where Brett Favre and company will take over on their 2nd drive. They scored on the first one. Now they'd like to score a little bit more, get that touchdown, and get off the schneid. We'll be back to Lambeau after these messages. You're watching the Packers Television Network.
Renovations are underway to one of Green Bay's most legendary structures.
I'm redoing the fence.
Steve's Paint, F&F legend, of course. Mills Fleet Farm's finest goes on smoothly and covers in one coat, and its 20-year durability makes Legend perfect for any remodeling job, even when you're just trying to keep up with the neighbors.
It's so competitive.
F&F Legend paint from Mills Fleet Farm, the official paint of Steve's Fence.
Dare to compare Mercury at the Mercury Summer Sales Event with 0.9 financing on every new 2001 Mercury, including the roomy V8-powered Mercury Grand Marquis, now starting at just $21,785 after $2,000 cash back. Then click on DareToCompareMercury.com and see how Grand Marquis stacks up against the competition and how you can save thousands. So dare to compare Mercury now at the Mercury Summer Sales Event.
Hey, Murph, the innovators have done it again. You mean the new Festival Foods in De Pere is open? Yep, and here's Mark Scogan to tell us about it.
Thanks, guys. Our De Pere store has developed a team of associates dedicated to providing you with a clean store, friendly people, quality products, and an enjoyable shopping experience for not a lot of money. So come on in.
Let's go!
Great stuff for not a lot of money. Festival Foods.
Packer Football is brought to you by your local Packerland Ford store, home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 24 straight years. Van Breedy's, life's too short, why shop anywhere else? And Festival Foods, great stuff for not a lot of money.
Chris Roth, Brian Noble, and Andy Kennedy back with you here at Lambeau Field. 5:56 to go in the first quarter. The Packers lead 3-0. The training staff working on Rondell Mealy, who had a bunch of touches on the first drive and then came out. Herbert Goodman now the lone setback. 3 wide receivers. Corey Bradford in the slot to the top. That's Donald Driver in motion. Favre back to pass. That ball incomplete. Zach Thomas getting to Herbert Goodman at the same time as the pass, so it'll be 2nd and 10.
Oh, Zach Thomas, he's playing with a couple of guys that are new, and you can see him really. Actually, they're looking at the arch. It appears to be. Well, now they're up on the ankle. You hate to speculate what's going on on the sidelines when they're evaluating a player. I'm sure Pat McKenzie and Johnny Gray got a handle on what's happening, but again, this gives Herbert Goodman an opportunity in the backfield. We were going to see him. We just didn't expect to see him this early.
All right, shotgun now for Brett Favre. And last week against the Broncos, Frank Winters had a bad snap in the shotgun. Flanagan has struggled at times in camp. That goes off without a hitch. But that was nearly a problem as Zach Thomas got hit right between the numbers. Incomplete, 3rd and 10 for the Packers.
You can only speculate at this point, Chris, how wet and how slippery those balls are, because we saw the throw to Billy Schrader. That literally just came right out of Brett Favre's hands. And there's another situation. That was a bad throw by Brett.
Let's go down to the field and Andy Kennedy for more on Rondell Mealy. Andy?
Chris, Rondell Mealy twisted his ankle, his left ankle. His return is questionable. He's getting a new batch of tape. They're retaping a little tighter. His shoe is going back on. He may or may not come back into the game. They might want to take it easy. But, you know, Mealy is fighting for a roster spot and the 3rd running back spot, so you bet he's chomping at the bit to return, Chris.
All right, thanks very much, Andy. And Donald Driver continues his excellent play of late, picking up a 1st down there on a 3rd and 10 situation. Driver a star against the Broncos the other night. He's the only Packer offensive player to get in the end zone this preseason. 18 yards on the pickup.
Good protection again from the offensive line. And here, Brett again has a little bit of a rollout to get away from that pressure, which he's not getting, but that was kind of a design play where Brett drops back a 7-step drop and then rolls away from the pressure.
Favre now 4 for 8 on the night. The drive continues from the 44 of the Dolphins. Goodman up the middle. Goodman down to about the 39-yard line. Zach Thomas in there on the tackle and a host of others. Looks like Ernest Grant lost his dome on that play. Picked up his helmet.
Zach Thomas is a lot like Sam Mills used to be for the New Orleans Saints back in the 80s. He's a very short guy. You can see Rondell Mealy's going into the locker room. That's not a good sign. But a shorter linebacker like that has had success in the National Football League. Not because he's short, but because he plays under his pads with a low level and plays downhill.
100 tackles last year, Brian. He missed 5 games with an injury. That's a big number. Oh, Brett Favre, the master. Free play.
Oh, holding
kinds of holding there on Terry Cousin. The official had already thrown his flag for offside. He had nothing to throw.
That's when the baggie came out. Multiple fouls on this play, offsides by the defensive line. Great job, Brett Favre, one of the masters of barking. And then realizing that the cornerback was beat, Sam Madison just locked up with Billy Schrader and darn near pulled him to the ground.
I know what everybody's got, damn it, shut up.
Okay, live television.
We have 2 fouls. Offside, 79. That penalty is declined. Pass interference, 21 defense, automatic first down.
Yeah, that man wants a raise.
I was just about to commend head linesman John Schleier for his resourcefulness, but I think he's been put in his place by Jerry Austin, so we'll just move on.
Great replay here. Brett Favre Bart gets him off sides, and Mike Waller, is that Chad Clifton does an excellent job of protecting Brett from the blind side. Jason Taylor almost got a free shot on Brett.
4th penalty now for the Dolphins. It would actually be 5, but they obviously turned one down. So here's Goodman. Oh, Goodman just met right in the hole there. Brock Marion.
Yep. Veteran football player who knows how to play the game. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he play for Dallas for a number of years?
He played for Jimmy Johnson and Dave Wanstad in Dallas at one point. Let's go down to Andy Kendi on the field with more. Andy?
Chris, they've taken Rondell Mealy into the locker room for x-rays, just precautionary. They haven't ruled out his return. In fact, if he's good enough to go and nothing's broken, he may as well just return. And, you know, the refs trying to show more personality. I think they're taking that to an extreme, don't you think, Chris?
I think that was maybe a little more color than they were hoping for. Goodman, that's a little more excitement than anyone was hoping for. Puts it on the ground. He was able to recover at the 16.
Chris, I don't recall what game it was I was watching the other day, but in that game as well, they were talking about how slippery the balls were. And you can see here that he's going to hand the ball, and he fumbles it actually right there. It pops out of his hands in the handoff in the exchange. But that's probably at least 5 or 6 times now that we've seen the ball come out of somebody's hands.
Bill Schrader lost it while running earlier, able to get it right back. So Goodman corrals at the 16. 3rd and 3, another red zone possession for the Packers. Goodman goes to the slot. Driver in the near slot. Billy Schrader to the bottom of your screen. Favre looking for a quick slant to Bradford. Bradford juggles. Bradford to the end zone. And the sense of relief is all over Brett Favre's face. The first touchdown for the Packers' first-string offense in this preseason. Corey Bradford, who dropped what would have been a touchdown against the Broncos the other night, atones here, able to juggle and score, and the Packers lead at 9-0. Ryan Longwell for the extra point out of the hold of Doug Peterson. Packers have had 2 possessions tonight, a touchdown and a field goal, and they lead the Dolphins 10-0 with 2:59 to go in the first quarter. You're watching Packers preseason football. We'll be back right after this.
When a law firm is known throughout Wisconsin for the way it has cared and fought for thousands of injured people and their families since 1930, when it has built such a reputation for winning in court that most cases are settled without a trial, when a law firm lists among its own more past presidents of state and national trial lawyer associations, more attorneys named among the best lawyers in America, more board-certified trial attorneys and law school teachers than any other personal injury law firm in Wisconsin, when a law firm is committed to providing hometown care and support in each community they serve, and when this law firm offers you its care and expertise, reputation for winning, 10 offices across the state, all of this, and the same no fee unless you win arrangement as any other firm, only one thought remains. Habish, Rotier. Why choose anyone else?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in my Ford, let's go for a drive.
It's Ford's model year closeout with $1,500 cash back or low 0.9 financing on Ford F-150, the best-selling pickup 24 years straight.
I used the $1,500 cash back towards my down payment. Didn't even know I could do that.
$1,500 cash back or low 0.9 financing. Plus, from now until September 4th, get a bed liner and side step bars at no extra charge. It's Ford's model year closeout at your Packerland Ford stores.
The Packers go 62 yards on 7 plays. Corey Bradford goes the final 16 for the touchdown, and the Packers get their first offensive touchdown out of their first-string unit this preseason. They lead the Dolphins 10-0. So, Brian, 2 crisp drives. They were able to convert on 3rd and long and keep it going, and this time they punch it in.
And even with all the times that they put the ball on the ground or had it pop out of their hands, it was fortunate for them they put it together.
2 crucial 3rd down conversions, 1 for the touchdown, 1 on 3rd and 10. Packers are just 29%. Chris Chambers out to about the 30-yard line, taken down there by K.D. Williams, 19 yards on the return.
Let's go, dude.
All right, we'll come back to Lambeau and see what the Dolphins, if they can answer. Packers lead at 10-0 on the Packers Television Network.
All the good things come to an end, don't they?
You can't be waiting around here, ladies and gentlemen. Inventories on some TVs are running low. You get the guaranteed lowest price. You don't pay a penny until 2002.
Buy a TV 32-inch screen or larger, and if Green Bay wins its first 6 regular season games,
the TV is free.
Now is the time to act.
Ha Hamlet, you must buy now. This promotion is not associated with, nor is it authorized by the Green Bay Packers or the National Football League.
It's going to be over soon.
Life's too short. Why shop anywhere else? If he had known how well he was going to do, he would have done it sooner.
To him, it meant a career change. To us, it was hiring a great team player.
He's doing great.
Now we're making serious plans.
ITT Technical Institute. Education for the future. To find out more, call 1-800-ITT-TECH or visit us on the web. Take advantage of our programs in information technology, a more flexible schedule to reach your goals. Call 1-800-ITT-TECH today.
It's the law at Cops. Cops Food Centers.
The IGA Product Patrol is back. If we knock on your door, will you be ready? Stock up on all your favorite IGA products and win hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Or this sporty PT Cruiser. Plus, show us a Coca-Cola product and win free soda. The IGA Product Patrol. Are you ready?
It's the law at Cops. Cops Food Centers.
Don't miss a post-pounding minute of Packer preseason football. The Packers rumble with the Raiders Friday at 8 on WBAY TV2. Coverage you can count on.
Brett Favre on headset talking to the coaches, saying, see, guys, it's not that hard. We can get into the end zone, and they lead at 10-0, and now the Dolphins come back for their second possession. They'll start at 1st and 10 from the 30. 3 wide receivers. That's Chris Chambers now in motion. They fake the reverse up the middle, Lamar Smith. And Smith banging his way to about the 43-yard line, and the flag on the field again.
This time I got a feeling there'll probably be John 3 lining up in the neutral zone.
You're on a roll. Let's see if you're right.
No. Ooh. I'm wrong.
Illegal shift offense. 2 men moving at the same time and not resetting. 5 yards, replay, first down.
All right, Jerry Austin with the family version of the call. 5 penalties now for the Dolphins. They have been averaging just over 10 a game. Here's another look at the touchdown, Brian.
That's part of the intricacies of the West Coast offense. You saw a crossing pattern. What they like to do is flood a zone like that and crisscross the receivers, hoping to pick the secondary off. And then what happens in the West Coast offense is you dump a 5-yard pattern to an athlete and let him make the play. And that's exactly what happened with Corey Bradford. Made a tremendous play.
1st and 15 for the Dolphins from their own 25, excuse me. Fiedler, play action. Middle of the field for Chambers, but rather Darren Sharper. That pass was much better for Sharper than it was for Chambers. Another turnover. The Packers defense, the takeaways have been coming fast and furious in the last 2 games, and the Packers will take over on the Miami 47. Darren Sharper led the NFL with 9 a year ago. He has 1 here in the preseason. Packers are back on offense when we return. 10-0 on the Packers Television Network.
Wow. I know. She's gorgeous. Oh, dude, her candle went out. Oh, watch this. I saw this in a movie once.
Want to get noticed? Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Alrighty. Hey, a booth opened up.
Oh, lucky us.
Pass interference! Hey, guys.
Nice hat.
Hey!
Back the pack with this sporty Packers ball cap from Citgo. It's yours for only $5.99 with an 8-gallon fill-up. Plus, you can enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to Super Bowl 36. Come into Citgo and show your Green Bay spirit.
Great hats.
No.
It's Toyota clearance time. Clearance happens just once a year, and you'll like the values on the summer's biggest inventory. Like on the luxurious Avalon. Get $750 in customer cash. Or maybe you'd like financing as low as 2.9% for 36 months. You got it. Or there's also great low lease rates. It's up to you. How would you like your Avalon? Toyota's 2001 clearance. Going on coast to coast.
Darren Sharper with the interception, and the Packers will take over on Miami's, call it the 46-yard line. Darren Sharper has been just so solid in training camp, coming off his superb season a year ago, signed the big contract in the offseason, and he's just been rock solid. Hasn't been injured, been there, has done everything they've asked, had to play some corner, back there returning punts. Now Favre on the move. Bubba! Oh, no. Bubba! Bubba has made some superb catches here in the preseason, but that's going to bring up the questions all over again.
Well, I'll blame it on the ball. Brett tosses this out. Great protection from the offensive line, and that's just lack of concentration, not keeping your eye on the ball. Look at his head turn. You can see his head turn. He started running.
I don't know that he needed to jump, Brian.
I don't know if he did or not either. That's
kind of a little reminiscent of that play against Chicago last year where they tried to keep it alive at the end of the game and left his feet too soon. And now the Packers faced with 2nd and 10. David Martin in the slot to give to Goodman. Goodman takes it up to about the 43-yard line. Bring up 3rd down for the Packers. Damian Gregory with the tackle. Lorenzo Bromell also in on that one.
I love when guys high-five when a running back just gains 4 yards. Not exactly what your goal is set out to. Let a guy gain 4 yards and then high-five your teammate. Herbert Goodman, the stable of running backs they have, with the exception of Damon Parker, he's a little bit more of a shifty guy. But Herbert Goodman is a lot like Rondell Mealy, where many times where he's got the proper lean and he's going forward, and anytime he goes down, the pile's going forward with him.
Goodman 5 carries for 14. Favre looking for Driver. That ball is picked off by Terry Cousin, and he is down at the 32-yard line. So Favre with the turnover. The Dolphins get an interception to answer Sharper's interception.
One of the things that is a direct relationship to who wins and loses a football game is who wins the turnover ratio. And here Brett just tosses the ball outside. You can see it. I think the ball is slipping out of Brett's hands a little bit because that ball was well behind Donald Driver. You can see that the rotation.
It's got a little knuckle to it.
Yeah, the rotation of the ball is not something you're used to seeing on a Brett Favre spiral.
First interception for Favre in the preseason. And the Dolphins take over at their own 32. Fiedler to Smith. Lamar Smith with some room. Smith rumbles to the 48-yard line. Big pickup there for the Dolphins. Lamar Smith, over 1,100 yards last year. Rushed for 209 yards and 2 touchdowns in a playoff win over the Colts, the 2nd most in NFL playoff history. So a superb game for him, and really a good season for a guy that had bounced around a couple of teams in years before that.
Just finding the right situation for a specific individual, and he found it here in Miami. And he's one of those guys like a Rondell Mealy. He's not a big guy, short and stout, but boy, he runs with power.
8 years veteran. Here comes the house, and they get it. Perfect call against the Packers blitz on the screen pass to Smith, all the way to the 37-yard line of the Packers.
Sometimes you guess when you blitz, you're hoping the timing is right, but you get caught in a blitz, and that's what happens. Packers brought a blitz upside, and sometimes it'll work to your benefit. If you're blitzing from the outside, you'll catch the quarterback as he's trying to look. Jay Fiedler saw this blitz coming the entire way. just a perfect play against a perfect defense. See everybody inside getting cut down, and they dumped it outside. He had two lead blockers in front of him and a lot of field to go over.
Antoine Edwards forced him out of bounds. This will be the final play of the first quarter. Dolphins haven't been shut out in the first quarter yet in the preseason in their 3 games.
Oh no.
Lamar Smith got away from Russell, Maryland. And Smith is still on the move. Finally taken out of bounds. What would have been a big loss turns into a big game for Lamar Smith, and that'll set the Dolphins up on the Packers' 17-yard line, a gain of 21 yards. That is the end of the first quarter. Maybe a little rust for Russell, Maryland. Packers lead at 10-0. The Dolphins on the drive when we come back.
Things are definitely grooving at McDonald's during the Big Mac Summer Groove Sweepstakes, featuring our Big Mac family of tastes. Just imagine pulling into a Mickey D's drive-thru and ordering a delicious Mac Jr. sandwich for only 99 cents. Behind the wheel of the coolest car today, a new Volkswagen Beetle. But the only way to do that, or to win other fabulous prizes, is by logging on and entering. So eat up, log on, and get groovy.
People of legal drinking age should enjoy alcohol responsibly, but don't drink if you're under 21.
Obedient school graduate. Valedictorian. Crown Royal. The legendary import.
Great selection and great treatment. That's why I buy from Bergstrom. Bergstrom sells more cars and trucks than anyone else in Wisconsin. There's something for everyone in my family. My dad wanted a Chevy Tahoe. My mom wanted a Cadillac. And I wanted a big Ford pickup truck. When my daughter turned 16, she wants a Corvette or a BMW. She's going to get a Saturn. And my wife, well, Deanna, she gets whatever she wants. The great thing is that every member of my family gets the same great guest treatment. So make your family a Bergstrom family and get a great deal more today.
Second quarter set to begin here at Lambeau. The Dolphins shut out for the first time in 4 preseason games. They put up 24 points on the Rams, Buccaneers, and Chargers, but the Packers pitched the shutout, and now they're trying to keep them out of the end zone after the big 21-yard game by Lamar Smith. Sets them up 1st and 10 at the 17. Let's go down to Andy Kendi on the field. Andy?
Chris, little by little, the Packers defense getting stronger and stronger, and they'll get even stronger when this man comes back. Santana Dotson, how far away are you?
I'm real close, real close. You can hear me knocking even.
Do you think you'll be able to go against Oakland, or you're targeting the Lions regular season game opener?
Yeah, my target, I want to be able to help the team, into the regular season. If something would have happened for Oakland, that'd be fine, but I want to be able to put my best foot forward come Detroit on into the regular season.
How frustrating has this process been for you?
It's been real frustrating, not just physically, just mentally. I've always been a team player, on the field type guy, so trust me, it's real rough being on the sideline just watching.
Re-whetted his appetite, Chris. He's in double digits in terms of NFL experience. He can't wait to get back.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Santana. And Rob Conrad experienced some of the difficulties that everyone else has tonight. Dropped a wide open pass for the Dolphins. That brings up 2nd and 10 from the 17. Conrad, the former Syracuse star. They give to Lamar Smith, has 40 yards on the night. Smith bashed down at the 11-yard line. Big Russell, Maryland able to get in there and make his tackles. We take a look at the first quarter stats. Just 4 first downs for the Dolphins. The Packers 102 total yards. Lead in time of possession. They had 2 long drives there. So the best first quarter, obviously, of the preseason for the Packers, and the worst first quarter of the preseason for the Dolphins.
Typical statistics that you'd like to see from the Green Bay Packers that they've put up throughout the years of Brett Favre's tenure here, and if they can maintain those, that's what you'd like to see from the Packers.
Russell, Maryland has to come out. Cletus Hunt replaces him. 3rd down and 4. 3 wides for the Dolphins. They try to go to Chambers, working on McKenzie. Incomplete. The rookie out of Wisconsin matched up with Mike McKenzie. Fiedler couldn't get him on a fade route. So we take another look.
just a quick three-step drop and throw the ball out and hope the receiver can make a play on it. And Mike McKenzie is one of the, although he's missed a couple days of training camp, he is one of the premier cornerbacks in the National Football League and somebody that the Packers dearly need. And just excellent position, looked back for the ball at the right time and came up with a play.
Olinde Mare, who played dueling field goal kickers with Ryan Longwell last year for who is the most accurate all-time in NFL history, and he's just mere percentage points behind Longwell as he bangs that one through. 10-3 Packers lead it. We'll come back right after this on the Packers Television Network.
How's this for an adrenaline rush? Get a 2001 Chevy Silverado half-ton extended cab four-wheel drive and take advantage of up to $2,500 in combined cash back and factory-to-dealer cash incentives. See dealer for residency and other restrictions. Or hurry in for a 2001 Chevy S10 with $2,500 cash back. Makes your boats quicken just thinking about it. Get great offers on select Chevy trucks. See your local Chevy dealer.
Menards paves your way to savings. Give your patio, walk, or driveway European charm with the old world look of cobblestone concrete pavers. On sale starting at 29 cents each. Keep your blacktop driveway looking new with extra thick Dalton fillers and sealers. 4-year airport grade is on sale $9.99 for 5 gallons. Fast Dry is ready to drive on in as little as an hour, $14.99. Seal in big savings at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm a zebra mussel, and you're thinking party food. Well, I got news for you. We're not edible. But we're planning a party. Just me and about 1 billion of my closest friends wreaking havoc in many rivers and lakes. We'll be hanging on boats, motors, docks, cluttering beaches like college kids at spring break. Even plugging power plants and waterworks, not to mention swiping food from the locals.
Sorry, Wally.
To keep us out, drain your live wells and bait buckets. Remove all aquatic plants and party-crashing zebra mussels every time you trailer your boat. Remember, this ain't no clam bake. Clean boats mean clean waters.
Packer Football, brought to you by TDS Metrocom, your best choice for local phone service, Toyota, and your local Toyota dealers, and Miller Lite. Want a great taste that's less filling? Grab a Miller Lite.
Dolphins convert a turnover into 3 points, and now they trail by a touchdown as Olinde Mare kicks off. Allen Rossum deep for the Packers, chasing to the sideline, corrals it at the 10. Allen Rossum, and there is another flag on special teams. That has been a problem for the Packers in the preseason. Looks like Matt Snyder is going to get called there, and you get a good look at Dolphins coach Dave Wannstedt. Couldn't have been too excited about coming to Lambeau Field tonight.
Illegal
Brian.
block from behind.
Look at his record when he was with the Bears.
Half a distance to the goal. First down.
But of course, the win last year in Miami as the Dolphins rallied from a 17-0 deficit to win 28-20. And Wannstedt took this team to an 11-5 record, and they're thinking Super Bowl down there in Miami this year.
Very energetic coach. He's the kind of guy that runs up and down the sideline, screams and yells. He's a young coach.
Former Packer draft choice. Way back when.
Never actually played, though.
No.
I guess that's not like a consolation prize.
Dolphins went 57 yards on 7 plays, and get the field goal from Mare after the Brett Favre interception. Terry Cousin with a one-handed interception, and now the Packers backed up to their own 7. Demond Parker now at running back for the Packers, and he takes it up about 5 yards. It'll bring up second down. And Parker now, of the 3 guys, he's probably the more scat back variety.
He brings a little wiggle with him to the huddle. When Demond Parker gets the ball,
hopefully he takes it out of the huddle too.
Although he has the ability to get inside between the tackles, I think his forte is more or less catching the edges of the defense and getting one-on-one with a linebacker or a secondary guy and making a miss.
He did have a 100-yard game against the Bears in rainy, cold, miserable conditions down in Chicago as a rookie, and Brett Favre does it again.
He just loves doing that to guys. If we get a shot at Bet, I guarantee you he's smiling.
Encroachment, 97 defense, 5 yards, still second down.
6 penalties already on the Dolphins.
And they have had a problem with penalties, as has Green Bay throughout this preseason. But Green Bay is keeping them down today, and Miami just is piling them on.
He's not getting just one guy either. but he's getting 2 at a time.
Well, Brett has that uncanny bark to him that very few guys have, because it's
Tough as nails.
you know you got to get to Brett quick, and he just has that knack of pulling people in.
All kinds of possibilities here on 2nd and 1. They'll go Parker up the middle. Parker for the first down to the 23-yard line. Derek Rogers in on the tackle for the Dolphins.
The offensive line did an outstanding job of just caving down the entire right side of the Miami Dolphins defensive front. We'll get a replay of it here. Watch the entire right side. The play designed to go to Green Bay's right, and then look at Chad Clifton and Mike Wall cave down that whole left side or right side of Miami's defensive front. And a good cutback by Damon Parker.
Offensive line played much better against the Broncos than they did against the Browns, and seemed to be doing better in the run game tonight. Parker from behind. Derek Rogers coming around the end and putting down Damon Parker. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Parker now 3 carries, 11 yards.
It's nice to see Green Bay trying to stick with the running game. As we mentioned, the keys to victory. You want to see a good run to pass ratio, and right now I think they're doing an excellent job of sustaining both, and that by running the ball successfully, it opens up your play action, and that's where Brett Favre and his receiving corps is having their most successes on play action.
They actually give him 1 on the play. 2nd and 1. Matt Snyder in at fullback. Nothing doing there. 3rd and long for the Packers.
And the one good thing that they're doing, Chris, by sustaining drives is giving their offensive line the opportunity to work together. And they haven't really had a real cohesive group on the field at the same time thus far this season. They got a couple series in the first preseason game in Cleveland, and actually a little bit more than what they anticipated because they didn't perform very well, but they were never able to sustain any kind of drives, any kind of consistency.
3 wide receivers. Damon Parker, the lone setback. 3rd down and 9 for the Packers. Driver in motion to the bottom of the screen. Favre looking for Schrader. A lot of traffic in the middle, incomplete, and Josh Bidwell will come on for the first time tonight. 5 for 12 now for Brett Favre. And there have been a few drops in there.
You know what they say about statistics, though.
Scoreboard?
Yeah, you tend to rely too much on those and just point up to the board.
Josh Bidwell now, there you see the preseason stats on him. Fair catch called for by Jeff Ogden, and Packer fans certainly remember him from a year ago. That punt return broke their back down in Miami last year. Dolphins come back on offense after this timeout. Packers leading at 10-3 on the Packers Television Network.
Hey, Murph, the innovators have done it again.
You mean the new Festival Foods in De Pere is open?
Yep, and here's Mark Scogan to tell us about it.
Thanks, guys. Our De Pere store has developed a team of associates dedicated to providing you with a clean store, friendly people, quality products, and an enjoyable shopping experience for not a lot of money. So come on in.
Let's go!
Great stuff for not a lot of money. Festival Foods.
Think big. Start small.
Things are definitely grooving at McDonald's during the Big Mac Summer Groove Sweepstakes, featuring our Big Mac family of tastes. Just imagine pulling into a Mickey D's drive-thru and ordering a delicious Mac Jr. sandwich for only 99 cents. Behind the wheel of the coolest car today, a new Volkswagen Beetle. But the only way to do that, or to win other fabulous prizes, is by logging on and entering. So eat up, log on, and get groovy.
Don't miss a pulse-pounding minute of Packer preseason football. The Packers rumble with the Raiders Friday at 8 on WBAY TV2. Coverage you can count on.
The rain's starting to fall here again at Lambeau Field. The Packers leading the Dolphins 10-3. I think we got a little fog rolling in as well here. So it could get interesting. A long way to go here tonight. 10:41 left here in the second quarter. Dolphins back on offense. They took their last drive in for a field goal. And Jay Fiedler back into controls. 3 wide receivers. Jeff Ogden, the bottom of the screen. James McKnight. And it's Conrad split out top of the formation. And the pass there to James McKnight takes it out to midfield. Take a look at Big Gilbert Brown back in the game.
You know, it's a good thing they had a play action pass on, because I'll tell you what, Gilbert Brown was all 300 pounds or 325 pounds of Gilbert Brown was on his horse.
There's Gilbert
pushing the pile, boy. I'll tell you what, he's a welcome addition to this Green Bay Packers football team.
Back to live action. The pass overthrown by Fiedler, looking for Ogden up top. That brings up 3rd down and a short
going from the line of scrimmage. A little quick offense here.
Dolphins actually did a lot of game planning for this game. They won't do so much in their final preseason game. They'll back off. Tonight they wanted to get some game planning in, make adjustments at halftime. There's a 1st down reception by Ogden. The Dolphins keep their drive alive.
And they're going to stay with the no-huddle offense. And you mentioned, Chris, you referenced the game planning. Now, Green Bay did not game plan for this specific game because of a short week that they had. So Miami's kind of got an advantage as far as scouting and game planning against the Packers.
Fiedler now 5-for-11 tonight, just 46 yards, however. The Packers keeping him.
Watch Big Gil.
Here comes.
Yeah. You know this place is going to react to Big Gil.
Let's take a look at it.
Watch Big Gil just push everybody right back, take a mano-a-mano and push it right back. I don't know if it was fear or the slippery turf that set that running back down.
Better he went down by himself than Gilbert taking him down. Gilbert has come back in terrific shape after a year off of football. The knee injury slowed him down.
No!
And a flag on the play.
That is terrible. Terrible, terrible call. An uncatchable ball. The receiver ran a different route, and they're going to call a penalty on this.
Maybe they'll pick this one up. Tyrone Williams over there to talk, and maybe not so nicely.
You're not going to change the Tyrone yourself. That's arguing gets you nowhere.
Jerry Austin and his crew will talk it over. Some colorful language, I'm sure.
Tyrone Williams, who's missed some practice throughout training camp,
He practiced a little bit leading up to the Broncos game, but this was his target all along with that groin injury he suffered in the offseason and then hurt it.
Pass interference, 37 defense, automatic 1st down.
Terrible call. Terrible, terrible call.
Not the way Tyrone Williams wanted to have his name mentioned tonight, but that one seemed rather unfair. But play on, and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at the Packers 32.
Watch Tyrone's Nebraska put a number on TCU today.
Jeff Ogden to the top, James McKnight to the bottom. Fiedler with a lone setback. Dump off to Autry Denson, and down he goes. Bernardo Harris and Katie Williams wrapping him up before he could gain anything. 2nd down and 10. Autry Denson, by the way, they have played 3 games, the Dolphins, but he leads the NFL in yards from scrimmage in the preseason.
Bernardo Harris has really become quite the football player. You can see him play underneath the tight end, who the tight end was stretching him up the field, and that's what you have to do as a middle linebacker. Play deep and then react to the short pattern and make a sure tackle. Bernardo Harris having a great camp and did just that, exactly what a linebacker is supposed to do.
2nd down and 10 for the Dolphins. The Packers 33-yard line. Conrad in motion. Fiedler back to pass. That pass for McKnight, he bobbled it, but taken down there by Darren Sharper at the 27. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5.
Interesting to see how Miami's running this. It's not necessarily, now they're going back to a huddle, but their no-huddle offense that they were running at the line of scrimmage, it's obviously when you game plan like that, you have your specific isolation plays that you would like to get. That last play with Bernardo Harris, trying to isolate on a linebacker and get in one-on-one with a tight end up the seam, and Bernard was all over the coverage.
4 wide receivers now for the Dolphins. Kabir Miller around the corner. Fiedler on the move. Here comes Kabir. Incomplete. What a motor by Kabir.
Mike McKenzie on the coverage downfield, and that's what happens when a quarterback gets out of the pocket. They call plaster. That's what the secondary is yelling back there is plaster. You can't have the opportunity to look back to the quarterback, because that's when you're going to lose the receiver downfield. You check back to the quarterback, and all of a sudden he slips around behind you. They yell plaster. That means you chest up with your receivers. That's what allowed them to make a play on the sidelines.
Olindo Mare now trying from 44 yards out. From 44 yards out, Matt Turk to hold. The kick is on the way, and the kick is good. So back-to-back field goals for the Dolphins pull them within 10-6. We'll come back, see if the Packers can answer. You're watching preseason football on the Packers Television Network.
There are certain events that people are proud to be part of, and Camp Jeep is one of them. But the only way to get there is in a Tackle Anything Jeep 4x4. And right now, you can get into one during the Camp Jeep sales event at your Jeep dealer. Don't miss final closeout time on 2001 models, featuring great deals on your favorite Jeep vehicles. And take advantage of the biggest factory-to-dealer incentives of the year. So hurry in, because the only way to get out there is to get here first. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
When a law firm has built such a reputation for winning in court that most cases are settled without a trial, when a law firm lists more past presidents of state and national trial lawyer associations, more attorneys and the best lawyers in America, and more board-certified trial attorneys than any other personal injury law firm in Wisconsin, and when this law firm offers the same no-fee unless you win arrangement as any other firm, only one thought remains. Habush, Habush, Rotier. Why choose anyone else?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in my Ford, let's go for a drive.
It's Ford's model year closeout with $1,500 cash back or low 0.9 financing on Ford F-150, the best-selling pickup 24 years straight.
I used the $1,500 cash back towards my down payment. Didn't even know I could do that.
$1,500 cash back or low 0.9 financing. Plus, from now until September 4th, get a bed liner and side step bars at no extra charge. It's Ford's model year closeout at your Packerland Ford stores.
Packers leading the Dolphins 10-6. Chris Roth, Brian Noble, Andy Kendi back with you live at Lambeau Field. Fog starting to roll in a little bit. Some other games tonight. Tampa Bay and New England at 7-3 Buccaneers at the half. Aaron Stecker, the Ashwaubenon product and former Wisconsin Badger, with a touchdown in that game. Buffalo leading Cincinnati 12-10. Jets over the Giants 7-0. Allen Rossum on the kick return, down he goes at the 28-yard line. Arizona leading the Bears 7-0. And earlier today, Pittsburgh opened their brand new Heinz Field. They beat the Lions 20-7. Let's go down to the field and Andy Kendi. Andy?
Chris, it appears that Ron Wolf, already restless in his retirement, he's agreed to do radio analysis for 2 Navy football games this fall, which makes sense. He lives in nearby Annapolis, and who would have thought after 38 years in pro football, he finally found the path to the media.
If he's as candid on those broadcasts as he was with us in all his years in Green Bay, that might be worth signing up for on the internet to listen to. Scott McGarrahan, the special teams ace of the Packers last year, shaken up on that kick return. I'm sure Andy will have a report for us soon as Brett Favre goes back to pass, trying to dump a screen to Parker. Flags are flying, pads are popping, and Parker's going nowhere.
Wow. Okay.
All right, we hear you, Derek.
we can deal with that. Just a lot of contact on that play right there. Green Bay trying to set up a screen, and those are the 2 things that Coach Sherman, let's hear a call here.
62 offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
You know, Coach Sherman said that he would like to not only execute on offense the screens better, he's told us that a couple weeks ago, Chris, but also react to them better on defense. And Marco's kind of, what'd I do?
He held, and it's going to be 1st and 20 Packers from the 17.
Marco Rivera is probably, quite possibly, the most consistent offensive lineman thus far throughout training camp. And Mike Flanagan stepped in for Frank Winters and has done admirable job filling in and taking that position and playing very consistent.
First down and 20. Corey Bradford to the bottom of the screen. There we go again.
Marco wasn't thinking. That last call got to Marco, and now he just put him back to back. Lost his concentration. He's got to be able to put that behind him. You'll see Marco on the right-hand side of your screen right there. Jumps the call.
4 penalties now on the Packers for 35 yards and back-to-back penalties for Marco Rivera. That's going to be an ugly film session for him.
Well, as I mentioned, Marco's been playing very, very well, and I think he will say that in the film study when the coach starts barking him. Larry Bechtel, you know he's going to call probably, he might be doing 50 or 60 push-ups anyway next week.
First down and 25 now. They give to Parker, cut back and runs right into big Jermaine Haley. So this drive is off to a rather inauspicious start.
Big guys, you know, Chris, I was going through the roster of both teams, going through their bios and everything. Do you realize that Miami Dolphins have 19 guys over 300 pounds on their roster? That's a lot of 300-pound guys. You know, most of those guys probably won't make the team.
Interesting. With Tim Bowens and Daryl Gardner questionable, they have injuries. They do expect those guys back for the regular season. They have a lot of defensive tackles, in a team like Green Bay who's dealing with injury situations. They may be watching this game extra close tonight. Harvey's got Bradford. Oh! Overthrown just a hair for Corey Bradford. That'll bring up third down and 24.
Yeah, Brett is upset he missed that one. He knew he had him, and again, I wonder about the ball. I wonder how good of a grip Brett is getting at the ball. Excellent protection once again from the offensive line. Brett looking downfield, and usually Corey Bradford can almost run under anything, and just off his fingertips.
Ball really fluttering on Favre tonight, although he did throw that one about 40 yards. Favre now 5 for 13, and a third and 24 on their own 14.
I wouldn't be surprised, Chris, to see a screen in this situation.
Matt Snyder at fullback, Damon Parker, and another false start by the Packers. Chad Clifton, I think, is going to be the guilty party this time. And Mike Sherman disgusted. 3 penalties on the offensive line on this series.
Especially after you're answering a scoring drive by the Miami Dolphins, you'd like to see your offense get going and get back into sync. They've played so well thus far. To have a series come out like this is not indicative of the type of offense that Green Bay has.
It's starting to take on the same tone as the regular season game between these two teams a year ago in Miami, where the Packers jumped all over the Dolphins early 17-0 and then just went into the tank. Third down and 28. 4 wide receivers. Interesting screen to Parker. Damon Parker back out to the 25-yard line. The Packers will be forced to punt, but without special teams ace Scott McGarrahan. For more on his injury, let's go down to Andy Kendi. Well, we'll get that squared away in just a little bit. The Packers forced to punt. Bidwell's second punt of the evening. Jeff Ogden, who returned a punt last year in that game to seal the deal, 81 yards against the Packers in Miami. Will get his second crack tonight.
Nice. Beautiful punt.
Ogden at the 30. Ogden cowered by Matt Snyder. And the Dolphins will take over at the 39-yard line. Packers lead at 10-6, 4:51 to go here in the first half. We return to Lambeau after these messages on the Packers Television Network.
All the good things come to an end, don't they?
You can't be waiting around here, ladies and gentlemen. Inventories on some TVs are running low. You get the guaranteed lowest price. You don't pay a penny until 2002.
Buy a TV 32-inch screen or larger, and if Green Bay wins its first 6 regular season games,
the TV is free.
Now is the time to act.
Oh, Hamlet, you must buy now. This promotion is not associated with, nor is it authorized by the Green Bay Packers or the National Football League.
It's going to be over soon.
Life's too short. Why shop anywhere else?
I want to be a fireman, a dentist, a truck driver.
I'm going to be president.
We all dream about our children's future, what kind of job they will someday do. But the more important question is, what kind of person will they someday be? At Bayside, we help develop children's character in fun and lasting ways. So as your children head back to school this fall, don't forget to get them back to church. Bayside Christian Fellowship.
We had quite a run and a good time while we were at it. That kid's got a good arm. Be right home, Edie.
Ron, where are you?
Watching the scrimmage. You know, son, you keep working. Someday you might be able to play for the best fans in the world.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf.
Cellcom, clearly the best.
Nobody keeps your head in the games better than Chris Roth and the Action 2 Sports team. Nobody. Action 2 Sports. Coverage you can count on.
Packers lead the Dolphins 10-6. Dolphins back on offense. They've scored field goals in their last 2 possessions.
That's kind of nice. First Packer game.
Yeah, welcome to Lambeau. Take a good look. If you come back next year, it's going to look a lot different.
Oh, man.
Autry Denson, down he goes.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you've got 2 horses like Russell Maryland and Gilbert Brown pushing the center of the pile, it's going to be difficult to run against the Green Bay Packers through the heart. Russell Maryland, 340 pounds of him, and Gilbert Brown, 332 maybe.
Mike Sherman told us last year at Thanksgiving Gilbert was weighed in at 400 pounds.
I know one time he ate actually on Thanksgiving. They weighed us in before the game or before the Thanksgiving meal, and after the meal he gained 17 pounds Thanksgiving Day dinner.
Wow. That must have been one post-Thanksgiving soup from Hunter Goodwin on the reception. That ball blown dead.
Can you believe that though? 17 pounds over a Thanksgiving Day meal. That's like taking a turkey and just sticking it in and going and pulling out the bones.
Andy Kennedy, have you ever gained 17 pounds in one meal?
No, a couple meals actually. If you count dessert, possibly maybe 15. Update on Scott McGarrahan, a jammed right thumb. They put some tape on it and maybe rubbed a little dirt on it. In fact, he was in on that last punt covered. Chris.
All right, Andy, thanks very much. 4 wide receivers now for the Dolphins on 3rd down and 5. Chambers looking for him. Chambers has it. His first reception tonight. Chambers still on the move. Chris Chambers takes it inside the Packers 30. He continues to make plays.
Mike McKenzie gambled and went for the ball, and that's a play as a cornerback. Oftentimes you'll see the replay here. You'll see McKenzie go inside underneath without the arm around the back, and oftentimes you'll get called for a penalty. But if you're going to go underneath like that, you better secure the tackle from the backside. You see him go underneath and misses everything, and then here you've got to make a tackle. Green Bay's had a problem with missing tackles, and granted, the surface isn't ideal for that.
Autry Denson trying to find room along the right side, and pads popping. Chris Gizzy sticking it to Autry Denson.
Gizzy's a player that they have all the confidence in him as a special teams player. He's been around football all his life. His dad coaches football, and I believe he's from one of the academies, is he not? Air Force. Ron Wolf has taken a number of guys from the academy. Everybody remembers Bob Kaburski, and Gizzy, the one thing, 6 foot, you see him 6 foot there. That might be on a good day with some heels on. I don't know what kind of heels he wears, but built like a bodybuilder. He's just a very stout young man, plays with good pad leverage, great speed, can get around.
2-minute warning is here. Mike Sherman and the defense will talk it over. The Dolphins on the move again. Packers lead at 10-6. We'll come back after these messages on the Packers Television Network.
It's Toyota clearance time. Clearance happens just once a year, and you'll like the values on the summer's biggest inventory. There's savings on our top trucks, like Tundra. Right now, get $1,000 customer cash back on the truck that received the highest overall safety rating of any full-size pickup. There's also low lease rates and low APRs available on every 2001 Tundra. Toyota's 2001 clearance, going on coast to coast.
Introducing the Main Street Deli from Roundy's.
It's as close as you can get to homemade and not live with your mother. It's lean and tender cold cuts. It's delectable deli salads. It's tempting desserts. Even gourmet pizzas you can take and bake at home. Okay, so the macaroni salad has a little more celery than I'd add. But for not mine, it's pretty good.
Look for Roundy's Main Street Deli items at Pick and Save. It's the easy route to a great meal.
Pass interference! Hey, guys.
Nice hat.
Hey!
Back the pack with this sporty Packers ball cap from Citgo. It's yours for only $5.99 with an 8-gallon fill-up. Plus, you can enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to Super Bowl 36. Come into Citgo and show your Green Bay spirit.
Great hats.
No.
Packer football, brought to you by your Wisconsin and Upper Michigan Jeep dealers and Havish and Rotier, another team with a winning tradition, known and respected throughout Wisconsin.
Packers leading the Dolphins 10-6. We're at the 2-minute warning here. Miami has scored on their last 2 drives, a couple of field goals. Jay Fiedler moving things along. There he is. Tenuous offseason for him. The Dolphins were in on the Matt Hasselbeck deal. They tried to get him, and Seattle sweetened the pot at the last minute. And then the Dolphins have gone through everybody else. Ray Lucas, they tried to claim Michael Bishop off waivers. Fiedler going to be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season, so his future is up in the air as they throw a screen to Autry Denson. Matt Hasselbeck, by the way, has thrown a touchdown pass tonight, and Seattle leading San Francisco 7-0. Another former Packer quarterback, Aaron Brooks, has scored the first touchdown at Invesco Field at Mile High as the Broncos opening their new stadium tonight. Fiedler on 3rd and 1 dives over the pile to pick up the first down.
I still have a hard time saying Jay Fiedler as a starting quarterback. You know, he's been
bounced around a couple of teams.
Obviously, that's probably why Miami has gone after so many other quarterbacks. Is maybe they're not satisfied with him as their starter.
There was some talk in Miami that they should draft Drew Brees in the first round. Instead, they wound up taking Jamar Fletcher from Wisconsin. So Fiedler's a guy, and he's had a superb preseason. His stats tonight not as good as they were in the first 3 games, but he has the Dolphins on the move here. A minute left to go in the half. 1st and 10. Fiedler rollout.
Wonderful job by Vonnie Holliday on the corner. Katie Williams was out in coverage, but just a marvelous job by Vonnie Holliday, not buying the run fake inside, staying outside, forcing Fiedler back into the pocket, getting his hands in his face, preventing Fiedler from looking downfield and completing the pass. You know, Vonnie Holliday has had kind of one of those careers now that you keep waiting for him to make that next step. Maybe he should talk to Mr. Miyagi. And
you know what? Jethro Franklin, the defensive line coach that Andy did the feature on in the pregame, he's always talking about hands and karate hands. Maybe Mr. Miyagi can help out with that tonight. Fiedler, 2nd down and 10. He wants Chambers. Second time tonight they've gone to that route against Mike McKenzie in the corner. Nothing doing this time as well. 3rd down and 10, 50 seconds left to go.
Green Bay corners are, when you're out on an island like that, and that is just one of those timing throws. It's a 3-step drop and throw it out and let somebody make a play. And Green Bay's pretty confident in both of their corners, Tyrone Williams and Mike McKenzie. They just leave them out there all by themselves and let Leroy Butler and Darren Sharper get underneath and try to create some havoc.
3 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen. That's Chris Chambers all the way at the bottom. 1 to the top. 3rd down and 10. Looking screen. Kabir got his big old paw up there and knocked it away, trying to set it up for Travis Minor, and Olindo Mare will come back attempting his 3rd field goal of the night. Fiedler now 10 for 20.
Green Bay Packers defensive line getting pressure, something they'd like to see, something that was lacking last year, and Kabir is one of those guys that they believe brings a uniqueness from size, strength, and speed.
He's had a superb training camp. 3 sacks in 2 games. Mare slips. That's like a knockdown wedge. And it's about as crooked as my knockdown wedge, too. Now the Packers dodge a bullet. They have 42 seconds and 3 timeouts with which to work here at the end of the first half.
And again, getting back to the game planning here, this is where Green Bay is somewhat at a disadvantage because they didn't have the opportunity to game plan for this, knowing what type of defense Miami's going to go into and what type of plays to go after.
This is a situation, Brian, the other night, too, against the Broncos. They got it with inside of a minute in the first half. Favre threw that pass to Freeman, maybe trying to force it because of the time situation. And, of course, Antonio Freeman in a vulnerable situation got drilled. Brett Favre blames himself for that. We'll see how they work this time with no time, and that won't take much off the clock. 38 seconds left to go. Favre now 6 for 15 in the first half.
He started so marvelously, and as the game has progressed, their statistics have gone the other way.
Yeah, certainly the wetness affected him early on.
Well, again, we prefaced that at the open. The conditions here are not really advantageous to the wide receivers and ball handling, and it has been evident throughout the game that the ball is and the turf are very slippery.
Shotgun for Favre. They execute that. Now he wants Bubba Franks. Big old Bubba can't come down with it. Added on the hands. That would have been a tough catch, but it was on the hands, and Bubba having a tough night tonight. So 3rd down and 10 with 32 seconds left.
Miami might even get the ball back here.
Miami has 3 timeouts as well, and the Packers at their own 28. Their last couple of drives have been not so good.
Anything but pretty.
So 3 wide receivers with Damon Parker in the backfield. Favre to the shotgun. Schrader to the bottom. Driver in the slot. Corey Bradford up top. Over the hands of Corey Bradford, and Josh Bidwell come on back. The Packers scored on their first 2 possessions tonight, but since then it's been punt, punt, punt.
See the replay of Corey getting over the middle. He is open. Ball just, again,
off the mark.
Off the mark, and you have to wonder if a slippery ball is the reason for that.
Bidwell had a boomer his last time out, and another one. Wow! Whoa!
Oh my goodness!
At the 1, a flag is down. There is a flag. I believe it's going to go against the Dolphins, but we'll see. Looks to be holding is the initial signal. It is against the Dolphins. Forget that bad boy. A 71-yard punt.
29 of the receiving team during the kick. Half a distance to the goal. First down.
I wonder if Josh has got his strength back yet.
71 yards. See Kevin Stempke there in your picture. He's now just a fan.
Well, Stempke can only hope for the opportunity maybe to get out and kick a couple times so that maybe somebody else
will. Get some film. He actually did a fine job against Denver. He had 2 punts the other night. So, and he certainly knows the situation here in Green Bay. He knows exactly what's happening, and you couldn't ask for talk to a more delightful young man than Kevin Stempke. And you just hope some NFL team will give him a shot, because Josh Bidwell has done his job here in Green Bay. Final 12 seconds of the half. And that will be that. The Packers scored on their first two possessions. A Miami field goal goes awry, so they get 6 points, but the Packers lead it 10-6 as they walk off at Lambeau. We'll come back with our Citgo halftime report right after this on the Packers Television Network.
Only the best deserves to be showcased. And now your Chrysler dealer is showcasing our most award-winning lineup of vehicles ever during the Chrysler Showcase sales event. Now on select vehicles, get financing as low as 0.9% or get 1.9 APR for up to $4,500 in savings or a $2,000 cash allowance. So hurry to the Chrysler Showcase sales event today. Then you can showcase an award winner right in your own driveway.
Didn't you just love Dad's special bacon cheeseburger loaded up with bacon just the way you liked it? That's odd. Your dad didn't cook. He hasn't been allowed in the kitchen since the chopping board incident. You must be thinking of Hardee's new bacon cheeseburger. It's a fully loaded cheeseburger covered with strips of thicker bacon and then topped with even more crumbled bacon. And we'll handle the sharp utensils. Try Hardee's new bacon cheeseburger. Hardee's, the way food ought to be.
Now, coverage you can count on. This is the Action 2 News Halftime Report.
Good evening, I'm Jeff Alexander. The Packers are not the only game in town tonight. Ticket sales for the Powerball drawing have been running at a fevered pitch all day. On the line, almost $300 million. The big jackpot is attracting hopeful millionaires from states that don't participate in the drawing to drive long distances to buy a ticket. Well, the unofficial last blast for summer is underway this weekend in Green Bay. Of course, we're talking about Art Street in downtown. And despite today's rain, many people brave the wetness to check out the art, the music, and great food, which are all part of the event. Art Street runs until midnight tonight and until 5 o'clock tomorrow. And hopefully people attending Art Street, at least tomorrow, will get a break from the rain. Let's check in right now with Brad Spakowitz for a quick check on weather. Brad?
All right, thank you, Jeff. Plenty of rain fell across northeastern Wisconsin today. The flashing areas in excess of 2 inches, mainly south of Green Bay there. Now notice some clearing approaching from the west. It won't be that much longer before the rain over eastern Wisconsin ends. It will clear on out. Could lead to some areas of fog later on tonight with nighttime lows in the lower 60s. Sunday, a beautiful day. Any morning fog will give way to plenty of sunshine. Not as humid, still warm though. Highs right around 80, Jeff.
Okay, thank you very much, Brad. That does it for the halftime report. Enjoy the game, everybody. We'll be back after the game for your Packer highlights, reaction, all the day's news, and weather. We'll see you then.
Mellow Yellow asks, how would you stay smooth? Mellow Yellow. Smooth. Very smooth.
I've seen what can happen when people trim trees near power lines. I should know. I'm a paramedic.
Trimming trees near power lines is extremely hazardous. Call public service for help. We have experts who can do the dangerous work for you.
Because I don't want to see you when I'm on call.
For a free safety brochure, call public service at 1-800-450-7260.
People of legal drinking age should enjoy alcohol responsibly, but don't drink if you're under 21.
Crown Royal, the legendary import.
Shopping for school supplies can be so stressful. Unless you go to Shopko's Neat School Sale, where all the basics are in one place at unbelievably low prices. Wide-ruled 3-subject notebooks, $1.99. 2-pocket folders, 7 cents. 24-pack Crayola crayons, 34 cents. Everything to check off your list, so you're in and out in no time. But that can be our little secret.
You have no idea what I've been through.
Shopko. Neat stuff, neat store.
Action 2 Sports. Coverage you can count on.
Halftime here at Lambeau Field. The Packers leading the Dolphins 10-6. Green Bay scoring on their first 2 possessions. Dolphins answering with a couple of back-to-back field goals. And that is the score as we bring you into the Citco halftime report. Of course, tonight could be a very lucrative night for someone out there. Who knows where? But you know who you are if you're looking at Powerball tickets tonight. Andy Kendi has more on whether or not the fever is sweeping through the locker room. Andy?
Chris, yes, it is a very big day in Wisconsin. Not only the Packers leading the Dolphins 10-6 at halftime, the Badgers beating the Virginia Cavaliers in their opener down in Madison, but also tonight the $280 million jackpot on the line for Powerball. And if you think the Packers don't give a hoot, well, think again. Packers hoping that they get lucky tonight.
I'm in. I'd like to win it. It's been something that everybody's been talking about.
Anything else?
Even the Packers aren't immune to Powerball fever. And like football, the Packers play Powerball as a team.
We're putting in some money, a allotted amount, and then hopefully, the payout's nice enough after we split it up, 8 or 9, 10 ways, however many people are in, and that'll be a nice little bonus.
There's a joke going around that if we win, we're going to walk into Sherm's office, slap 20 grand down on his desk, and see you in a couple days, but it's just a joke.
Packer wide receiver Bill Schrader has big plans for when he wins the big jackpot.
Honestly, I would give quite a bit to charities. I think I would help a lot with the stadium, being that this is where I grew up, and this is something I've always been a part of, and I think that'd be just a great way for taxpayers to pay less money, and some way to give back to the community.
What do? Do you keep your day job if you win?
You know what? I'm not going to worry about that right now. It'll be tough to. There'll be some questions behind it, but yeah, I would stay.
But not everyone is sold on Powerball.
No, you never know. Hopefully, get in. Support Brett and Doug, and make sure they're on top of their thing, and just get ready to go. That's the only ticket I want.
Packer reserve quarterback Henry Burris. And earlier in the week, a Dolphins public relations guy got here in Green Bay with a stash full of money. He was buying tickets for the Miami Dolphins players who wanted a piece of the pot. But the best comment on the Powerball came yesterday after walkthrough when Dante Curry was asked what he would do if he won the $280 million jackpot. And Curry said simply, "I'd leave." Well, I'm putting in my notice now because after I win Powerball, I'm out of here too. But I'll be back. Chris Roth will be back. Brian Noble will be back with halftime festivities. The Packers leading the Dolphins 10-6. More after this.
You may get cancer, but I doubt you'll get the truth from cigarette companies. They keep saying you can't get hooked on cigarettes, even though many smokers who lose their vocal cords can't quit. I'm Janet Sack. I was a model in cigarette ads, and I convinced many young people to smoke. I hope I can convince you not to.
How's this for an adrenaline rush? Get a 2001 Chevy Silverado half-ton extended cab four-wheel drive and take advantage of up to $2,500 in combined cash back and factory-to-dealer cash incentives. See dealer for residency and other restrictions. Or hurry in for a 2001 Chevy S10 with $2,500 cash back. Makes your pulse quicken just thinking about it. Get great offers on select Chevy trucks. See your local Chevy dealer.
Packers leading the Dolphins here 10-6. Our Citgo halftime report continues. The Havish, and Rotier first half recap looks like this. Actually, apparently it looks like me. Let's take a look at the first half statistics from tonight's ball game. And there they are, even on first downs. Miami has the edge in rushing and in passing, total yards obviously. Turnovers equal at 1 apiece, but the Packers were not able to cash in on their interception, whereas the Dolphins took the Terry Cousins interception and turned it into 3 points. Penalties, quite a few tonight, and these teams highly penalized in their games. Dolphins came in with 32 penalties in 3 games, add 7 more to that. The Packers had committed 19 in their first 2, add 5 more to them. 10-6 is the score, and the Packers, this was the first touchdown of the preseason for their first unit offense. It came down on a 3rd down from the 16. Brett Favre, Corey Bradford, the juggling act, and Bradford, who juggled a couple to the ground against the Broncos the other night, gets into the end zone. That gave the Packers a 10-0 lead. But the Dolphins able to come back. Jay Fiedler in the shotgun. They went to a no-huddle offense at one point. He got Chris Chambers, and the former Badger star did the rest. Nice catch and run, and that put the Dolphins in position. They cash in with a couple of field goals again in the first half, and that leaves us at 10-6. Packers on top of the Dolphins here in what has been a first half that saw the Dolphins game plan for tonight. They told us they would. They won't do that for their final preseason game. This is really their last test. And for the Packers, this is the game where we expect the starters to come out and play a series here in the third quarter. Then they will back off, and we will start to see the second unit. They close out the preseason against the Raiders on Friday night in Oakland, and the starters not expected to play many minutes in that game. But again, the Packers lead it 10-6. The second half is coming up shortly. Brett Favre with a touchdown. Jay Fiedler warming up. We expect to see him again to start the third quarter. Torrance Marshall, the rookie out of Oklahoma, will get some minutes here in the second half. There's Michael Bishop, the quarterback the Packers picked up on waivers from the Patriots. Leroy Butler and company coming back out here for the second half. Dolphins will have the ball first. They misfired on a field goal and Olindo Mare slipped. Otherwise, this would be a 10-9 ball game. Josh Bidwell had a 71-yard punt in the first half. Andy Kendi, help us out here, Andy.
It's no problem. Just talked to Mike Sherman. He was thrilled with the Packers' first 2 offensive possessions that resulted in their 10 points. He was less than thrilled with the 5 penalties. That gives their team 24 penalties in just over 2.5 preseason games. And defensively, he says he was not happy with the way that his defense gave up too much yardage and too much yardage in large chunks. But happy with the 10-6 lead, Chris.
All right, thanks very much, Andy. Brian, what do you look for here in the second half?
Well, I would think that they're going to come back out with that first unit and try to reestablish their synchronicity. I took all of halftime to think of that word, Chris. Synchronicity. But they've got to get themselves back in a rhythm, so to speak. And Brett Favre, although he started off superbly well, he came back and struggled at the end of it. It was a tale of 2 quarters, actually. Green Bay dominated the first quarter and a half. Miami seemed to take the reins in the second quarter.
There you see the numbers on Brett, 6 for 17, an interception and a touchdown. First in both categories for him this preseason.
Let's finally, again, referencing back to the success that Green Bay's offense enjoyed early. They got into a rhythm. Brett got into a rhythm. Although the ball popped out on a number of different occasions, their offense seemed to get themselves going. Offensive line did a remarkable job getting Brett Favre the opportunity and the time to look downfield, look for his number 2, number 3 receivers. Brett was finding them. They were able to establish a running game behind Rondell Mealy and Herbert Goodman, and we still haven't got, I talked to the public relations department for the Packers downstairs, and they still have not got an update as of yet on Rondell Mealy, whether he will be able to return or what the significance of his injury is at this point.
We know that he went in for x-rays on his ankle as Ryan Longwell gets us going here in the second half. Packers leading 10-6. That's Chris Chambers. Chambers out across the 40 to the 43. And that's where the Dolphins will start, 1st and 10. Matt Snyder with the tackle, Brian.
One of the things, Chris, that Green Bay has been struggling with is not only their kick coverage, but their punt coverage as well. And that Coach Frank Novak has been aware of that. He's been very aggressive as far as getting to his players early on in training camp. You can't blame him because he didn't know who was in the game and who was out of the game. But now some of these individuals are fighting for the roster spots, and special teams is where they're going to have to perform.
Jay Fiedler 10 of 20 in the first half, and as we told you about, first unit defense is out there with the exception of Darren Sharper. And looks like Tyrone Williams out of there. Todd McBride will start at corner. Antoine Edwards at safety. So Sharper and Tyrone Williams just making their way now from out of the locker room.
Todd McBride, another player sitting at cornerback, playing well.
His wallet's a little lighter tonight, too. He better hope he hits the power ball. League fined him $5,000 for that late hit on Rod Smith Monday night against the Broncos, and seemed to take him out of his game. He started out terrific. That penalty seemed to take him out a little bit. Second down and 10 for the Dolphins. 36-yard kickoff return by Chambers, by the way. Autry Denson on the run, and Jim Flanagan with the tackle.
It appears Miami's going to try to establish some sort of a running game with their offensive line, and now Green Bay making some substitutions. Passing situation, 3rd down and 4. Kabir Bajabiamila gets out there, and they'll be coming off of one corner and Vonnie Holiday off the other with Cledius Hunt inside.
Dave wants that. They wanted to make adjustments at halftime. Make this as much like a regular season game as possible. We'll see how they do. 3rd and 5. Fiedler cross to Chambers. Nice hands. Chambers hit by Chris Akins out there. Chambers holding on for the 1st down. So Chambers continues his impressive play. And a lot of people wondering why the Packers passed on Chris Chambers. He was there in the 2nd round. The Packers took Robert Ferguson, and to this point in the preseason, Chris Chambers certainly has had much more of an impact on his team than Robert Ferguson has had on the Packers. Part of that is due to an injury he had, missing one of the mini camps. He's been out a little bit in training camp as well, and he's a little bit behind, but he also hasn't had the opportunities that Chris Chambers has had. 1st down for the Dolphins. Autry Denson bounces off a few people, picks up a couple. Gilbert Brown was one of the guys he bounced off of.
I don't know if we're going to get a replay of that play right there, but I'll tell you what, Bernardo Harris came downhill and just blew up the pulling guard. They tried to trap inside, and Gilbert Brown, you see come around. You're going to see the running. Watch Bernardo Harris just blow number 44 up right there. That is the difference from the new Bernardo Harris and what he has brought to this football team. He's playing downhill. He's playing with leverage. He's playing with aggressiveness that I have yet to see in a linebacker in quite a while here in Green Bay.
What changed for him, Brian? Because from the second point of the season, midpoint of the season last year, through now, he is just a totally different player. And he's in there again with his old buddy Gilbert Brown.
It's just confidence, Chris. This is his 2nd year in the system now, and this is a system that benefits the linebackers here. And you put a big guy like Gilbert Brown or Russell Maryland in front of a guy like Bernardo Harris, and they're only going to get better. It helps from my standpoint.
63 offense, penalty is declined, 3rd down.
From my standpoint, having played behind players like that, the bigger they are in front of you, the bigger the butts are in front of you, the easier it is to maneuver, because those guys are going to take up the blockers, and it allows you the freedom to read the play, diagnose the play, and make your reaction. And I think when I get back to that confidence issue with Bernardo Harris, he's seen it now. He's seen everything. He's got some time under his belt, and now he just reacts instead of having to think.
Autry Denson bashed around a little bit, 6 carries for 9 yards, came in as the total yardage leader in the NFL in the preseason. 3rd down and long. Pass complete to James McKnight for a Dolphins 1st down. Scott McGarrahan back in and makes the tackle.
Pulled some changes in the secondary for the Green Bay Packers, and Scott McGarrahan back there in the secondary, and he's battling for a position with Chris Akins in the secondary. I believe they're going back now to most of their starters now. I don't know why they had those substitutions early, but now they've got their first unit back in. Or no, McBride is still on your right side.
McBride and Edwards are in for Sharper and Tyrone Williams. Other than that, this is the starting unit. 1st and 10 from the 26. They give to Denson. Down he goes. Denson. Wrapped up by Chris Gizzi, the first to hit him. Chris Gizzi led the Packers in tackles in their first preseason game against the Browns.
Played.
Has been getting a lot of minutes in place of Nate Wayne.
And played almost that entire game against Cleveland because of injuries.
Nate Wayne went out early in that game and hasn't returned since, although they do expect him back for the regular season opener. Nate Wayne, a lifesaver last year, coming over late in training camp to play at Donatell's system that he brought over from Denver. 2nd down and 8 for the Dolphins. Fiedler rollout, misdirection. Steps up, fires, caught Chris Chambers. Chris Chambers getting a start tonight in place of Oronde Gadsden. He came in leading the Dolphins in receptions and receiving yards. And that's his 3rd catch of the night.
Miami seems to be a little bit more in sync on offense now. See the play action, getting everybody going one way. A good job by John Theory coming back, getting his hands up. But just a beautifully executed pass and catch. There's not a whole lot that you can do from the outside on that play. It's just the ball is thrown in the perfect position.
Chambers looks good. 3 catches, 48 yards. Dolphins on the move again. 1st down and 10 from the Packer 11. Fiedler fake to Denson, then toss to Denson, and Denson takes it inside the 5. First down. Oh, check it. Second down in short. They can still get a first down without going into the end zone.
We got a player down on K.D. Williams. He's a little slow getting up. We're going to have the trainers come out and see what's happening with K.D. A very difficult play that Miami just ran to dissect. And I believe K.D. got caught underneath the pile. Appears to be okay. They run a play action fake and use the fullback out in the flat and then just turn around and dump it to the tailback right behind him, and he makes the run. And oftentimes in offenses now you can see K.D. Williams planning. We don't need to see a whole lot of replays on this one, guys. I'm glad he's up and walking, because that was a nasty looking replay.
9th play of the drive for the Dolphins. Second down and 2 from the Packers 4-yard line. The crowd trying to do their part as the Packers are backed up. Denson. Cledius Hunt cleans him up for a loss. That'll bring up 3rd down. Billy Lyon the first to hit him, and Cledius Hunt wrapping him up. Cledius Hunt, superb game against the Broncos, 2 sacks. Bittersweet, because I know they won't have him the first 4 games of the regular season.
That's one of the benefits of Ed Donatello's defense. With their defensive linemen, it allows them to penetrate one gap, get into the backfield, and disrupt things. We saw a good job by Billy Lyon separating, and Cledius Hunt chasing the ball down from the backside.
K.D. Williams took the play off. He's back in now. 3rd down and 5 from the 6. Fiedler behind McKnight. Otherwise, it would have been 6. Olindo Mare will come back out.
Some of these plays should actually be called illegal. The way offenses operate nowadays, they had 2 receivers running up the field. The tight end actually did a pick for the wide receiver who came underneath. Fortunately, the pass was thrown behind the receiver, but that's almost impossible to defend that play.
Mare's one miss came when he slipped a little bit on his run-up. His footing sure, and his 3rd field goal of the night, all on this end of the field. And now it's 10-9 Packers with 8:54 to go in the 3rd. We'll come back to see if the Packers' first-string offense can answer. 9 straight points by the Dolphins. Back to Lambeau after this on the Packers Television Network.
When a law firm has built such a reputation for winning in court that most cases are settled without a trial. When a law firm lists more past presidents of state and national trial lawyer associations, more attorneys and the best lawyers in America, and more board-certified trial attorneys than any other personal injury law firm in Wisconsin, and when this law firm offers the same no-fee-unless-you-win arrangement as any other firm, only one thought remains. Habush, Habush, and Rotier. Why choose anyone else?
What the heck is going on down here? Am I in the right place? I thought it would be hotter.
How is this possible?
Wow, Jim Young actually bought a round?
Jim!
Thought you'd never see the day? Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in my Ford, let's go for a drive.
It's Ford's Model Year Closeout with $1,500 cash back or low 0.9 financing on Ford F-150, the best-selling pickup 24 years straight.
I used the $1,500 cash back towards my down payment. Didn't even know I could do that.
$1,500 cash back or low 0.9 financing. Plus, from now until September 4th, get a bed liner and side step bars at no extra charge. It's Ford's Model Year Closeout at your Packerland Ford stores.
Packer Football, brought to you by your local Ford store, where Ford trucks are built Ford tough and Ford cars are built to last. Menards, save big money at Menards, and Pick and Save Roundies.
The Dolphins have tightened things up. Chris Roth, Brian Noble, Andy Kendi back with you live at Lambeau. 3rd field goal of the night for Olindo Mare makes it a 10-9 game here in the 3rd quarter. Allen Rossum grabs it at the 9. Allen Rossum to the 35-yard line. A 25-yard return for Allen Rossum. And the first unit offense will come back on the field for the Packers when we come back. Packers lead at 10-9. You're watching preseason football on the Packers Television Network.
Special become legends. It might be the truth.
Mills Fleet Farm presents Matt for Lineman.
Right now, Raid Wasp and Hornet Spray is just $3 at Mills Fleet Farm, and you get a $2.50 rebate. So what does it end up costing? 50 cents. Okay, try this. Buy 2 Raid products for $3 each. That's $6, and you get a $6 rebate. So what's your net cost?
Now we're buying nets?
No, it's $0.
What?
Hey, Murph, the innovators have done it again.
You mean the new festival Foods in De Pere is open?
Yep, and here's Mark Scogan to tell us about it.
Thanks, guys. Our De Pere store has developed a team of associates dedicated to providing you with a clean store, friendly people, quality products, and an enjoyable shopping experience for not a lot of money. So come on in.
Let's go!
Great stuff for not a lot of money. Festival Foods.
We depend on him to make things work. He's doing really well.
It is amazing what his career change has done for us.
He knows what he's doing. He really knows his stuff.
ITT Technical Institute. Education for the future. To find out more, call 1-800-ITT-TECH or visit us on the web. Take advantage of our programs in information technology, a more flexible schedule to reach your goals. Call 1-800-ITT-TECH today.
Packer football is brought to you by Cops Food Centers, where the greatest and tastiest tailgate parties begin. Mills Fleet Farm, ITT Technical Institute, education for the future, and Crown Royal, legendary Canadian whiskey.
Brett Favre and the first-string offense back on for what will most likely be their final series of work tonight. Favre 6 for 17, just 2 of his last 9. Remember, the Packers led this game 10-0. They give to Herbert Goodman. Ooh, Goodman got smacked. That's a loss of a couple. Zach Thomas making the play.
He's like a little greased pig when he plays, you know? You ever try to grab a greased pig? He's so little and he's just so squirrely that he runs around blocks, and he's got very, very good speed. But I think half the time you lose him in all those big bodies, and all of a sudden he catches you right in the chin.
Herbert Goodman, 6 carries, 12 yards tonight. Took over for Rondell Mealy, who went out early in the game. We'll get an injury update on him shortly from Andy Kendi. As Favre all day. Now to Goodman, and down he goes. Jason Taylor, deep in coverage on that one. What the defensive end.
Tremendous amount of time by the offensive line, giving Favre ample opportunity to look downfield. I think he was hoping. You can see big Mike Flanagan in the middle, filling in for Frank Winters, and look at that protection there. That's just tremendous, tremendous protection. And Mike coming over from UCLA, overcoming a devastating injury in his second preseason game, and a remarkable story for a young man to come out and be where he is today.
Packers 3 of 8 on 3rd down tonight, and 29% on the preseason coming into tonight. That ball behind Bill Schrader. Favre was on the move. Schrader stopped. Favre thought he was going another way. And Josh Bidwell will come on for his 4th consecutive punt. The last one was 71 yards.
The competitor that Brett Favre is, you know he's not happy with what's going on here.
Let's go down to Andy Kendi. We promised you the injury update on Rondell Mealy. Andy?
Rondell Mealy will not return. It's a sprained left ankle. X-rays negative, so no break there. Now K.D. Williams, they're working on his left knee. We hope to have an update for you shortly.
Thank you, Andrew. And Bidwell on to punt. 3 punts tonight, averaging 50 yards for Josh Bidwell. Not quite the boomer that he had the last time. Ogden has it. Ogden! Jeff Ogden out near midfield. Damon Parker tripped him up, saving the touchdown. Or at least saving Josh Bidwell from having to attempt a touchdown-saving tackle. Jeff Ogden broke the Packers back a year ago in Miami. Sets up the Dolphins a good field position here. We come back to Lambeau after these messages on the Packers Television Network.
Toyota clearance time. Clearance happens just once a year, and you'll like the values on the summer's biggest inventory. Right now, it's your choice. Get $1,500 customer cash on the popular and rugged 4Runner. Or get financing as low as 2.9% for 36 months. There's also low lease rates. Get versatile savings on the versatile 4Runner. Toyota's 2001 clearance, going on coast to coast.
Hey guys.
Nice hat.
Hey!
Back the pack with this sporty Packers ball cap from Citgo. It's yours for only $5.99 with an 8-gallon fill-up. Plus, you can enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to Super Bowl 36. Come into Citgo and show your Green Bay spirit.
Great hats? No.
Menards' entire selection of Karadka wood patio doors and windows are on sale, including casement, awning, sliding, and double-hung windows, even custom sizes. On sale now at 15% off our low everyday prices. Add the finishing touch with vinyl, aluminum, or cellular blinds from Springs Window Fashions, all on sale. Plus, bring in your window measurements and take advantage of our free custom trimming. Open up big savings at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Mike Sherman watching his Packers give up a 10-0 lead. They've done nothing on offense since that time. Miami on the move after a 31-yard punt return. New quarterback now for the Dolphins, Ray Lucas, in his 4th year, first year with the Dolphins, signed as a restricted free agent away from the New York Jets. Packers go with their second unit defense. We'll try and set that for you here as time allows. And there's a handoff and up the middle. Autry Denson, and look at little Denson push the pile all the way to about the 43-yard line, near a first down for the Dolphins.
A 9-yard gain on a handoff up the middle and
to a little guy. Brian, this is time for me to tell you that this broadcast is authorized under the broadcasting rights granted by the Green Bay Packers Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our viewing audience, and any publication or rebroadcast or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the written consent of the Green Bay Packers Incorporated is strictly prohibited. Trying to set up a toss sweep to Denson. Down he goes, a loss of a couple. Harry Delajanis wrapping it up, but Kabir Bajabiamila forced that one.
It's nice to see Kabir, known for a pass rushing specialist, so to speak, is what they throw that title out there for anybody that's not a big man. And Kabir did a wonderful job of maintaining his contain on the outside, getting off the block and getting to the feet of Autry Denson.
Kabir at the elephant end, Billy Lyon the power end, Delajanis and Cletius Hunt the tackles. Bao Zhu, the 3rd-round draft choice, is at the left corner position. Lucas looks left, throws right.
Good way to pad your statistics. Second and 13 and throw a 7-yard out. Get half of it back anyway.
David Foy on the reception for the Dolphins. First-year player. Again, both teams now substituting quite a bit. Starters are done for the night. Bao Zhu and Todd McBride, the corners for the Packers. Chris Aikens, Scott McGarrahan, the safeties. 3rd down and 6 for Ray Lucas and the Dolphins. Penalties go there. Kabir got a head start. Whether or not he was drawn off remains to be seen.
Number 94, defense, unabated to the quarterback, 5 yards. Result of the penalty will be a first down.
That'll give the Dolphins 3rd and short. 6 penalties now for the Packers. They came in with 19 in their first 2 games.
He almost gave him a first down on that one.
That's what I thought he said. He had me confused there for a minute. I thought it was 3rd and 6. 3rd and short for the Dolphins. Power on power, and Denson gets it, takes it down to about the 30-yard line.
You don't have your
Kabir in on the tackle. Excuse me, Brian.
You don't have your big horses in there in the middle right now. Cletius Hunt's going to come out. Delajanis is coming out, and running up the middle, you see Autry Denson's numbers right there. They're not significant, but just seems to be chipping away at him.
Girardi Mercer and Devon Claybrooks now manning the interior of the defensive line. Mercer just picked up this week on waivers from the Patriots. Denson. Denson. Dancing. Kabir was right there again, and some extracurricular stuff going on away from the cameras. Todd McBride. And
I think they threw a flag for somebody that got undressed over there by Autry Denson. He threw a move on Devon Claybrooks.
Holding, 65 offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
Threw a move on Devon Claybrooks out there where whatever he had, I think he tied his shoes together out there. Look at those penalties.
Way too many with 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
One of the key people that the Packers are hoping is third-round pick Torrance Marshall can do something, and he's been a little lost at times. He knows how to stick his head in there like you saw in that play, but they were hoping to get him an opportunity to play with some of the veteran players that know what's going on so that he can feel a little bit more comfortable in there.
First down and 20. Lucas, he likes the move. Kabir almost had a sack. Sean Draper, the tight end, with the catch. And Lucas able to get out of trouble. Flags fly.
From deep in the secondary.
This may be a byproduct of what was going on before. Todd McBride and Robert Baker on the play before.
I bet it's offsetting. Nope, the way the Packers are looking.
They're moving in the wrong direction for that.
Personal foul. 27 defense after the play is over. Half a distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Well, I mentioned the play before that Todd McBride and Robert Baker had been tied up and there was some extracurricular. Apparently that carried over. McBride going to get yanked, I think.
And he's going to get a scolding right here, I got a feeling. Mike Sherman is
Mike
following
Sherman
him.
can't wait to get in touch with him. This after a week in which Todd McBride had a late hit and was fine and did not play well, and to go after something like that obviously steams Mike Sherman. Corey Chamberlain replaces Todd McBride. Harry Delajonis almost had the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Just a couple there. Donnie Spragan cleans up.
Delajonis has got a tremendous story, Chris. You look at the guy, and I saw him out at practice the last few days, and I'm like, what's he doing out here? You look at him, and you just don't see an athlete. But he was Division I AA Defensive Player of the Year last year at Youngstown State, or a couple years back at Youngstown State. Had 18 sacks.
Personal trainer is former Packer Blaze winner. Second down 7, Lucas. Firing out to the flat, Jed Weaver with the catch. Torrance Marshall on the coverage. Short of the first down, 3rd and short. They can still get a first down without getting into the end zone.
Watching Torrance Marshall, Chris, I can't help but like this kid. He's got all the intangibles. He's got tremendous speed. He's got a tremendous heart. He really loves to play the game. Unfortunately, he's been caught up in a situation where Bernardo Harris is having an outstanding camp, and he's not getting the opportunity to play with the first unit. And to some extent, I think he's struggling a little bit digesting the defense, and at times he gets lost.
MVP of the national championship game at Oklahoma, also MVP of the Senior Bowl. Denson on 3rd and short.
Does not get it.
That'll bring up 4th down, and Olindo Mare back on the field.
Big Gilbert Brown.
Come on, Gilbert, give him one.
Yeah, I didn't realize Big Gil was in there. Now he's so slender, you just don't see him out there when he's out there. You're not going to penetrate the middle of that defensive line when Big Gil's out there. He is so hungry to play the game of football now. It's such a great story. He might be the comeback player of the year.
Mare knocks through his 4th field goal. He's missed on one tonight. Now Miami leads it 12-10. The Packers have given up 12 straight points to the Dolphins. They lead it by 2. We'll be back to watch Doug Peterson and company after this on the Packers Television Network.
Things are definitely grooving at McDonald's during the Big Mac Summer Groove Sweepstakes. featuring our Big Mac family of tastes. Just imagine pulling into a Mickey D's drive-thru and ordering a delicious Mac Jr. sandwich for only 99 cents. Behind the wheel of the coolest car today, a new Volkswagen Beetle. But the only way to do that, or to win other fabulous prizes, is by logging on and entering. So eat up, log on, and get groovy.
Monique is ravishing, no? An apple from the Garden of Temptation. Aphrodite, risen from the sea. Look at her pouty lips. Pout, Monique. Her hair, a midnight waterfall. Lots of money, no? And her clothes, expensive, no?
No. Her clothes are from a Goodwill store. I don't know where she gets her hair done.
Goodwill. Good clothes, good prices, good idea.
People of legal drinking age should enjoy alcohol responsibly, but don't drink if you're under 21.
Obedient school graduate. Valedictorian. Crown Royal. The legendary import.
Don't miss a pulse-pounding minute of Packer preseason football. The Packers rumble with the Raiders Friday at 8 on WBAY TV2. Coverage you can count on.
Brian, not a good sign for Todd McBride, dressed down by Mike Sherman after the unnecessary roughness, and now he's taken off the tape.
Might be through for the afternoon.
Damon Parker back to receive this kick. Parker shoots the gap. Parker still on his feet.
Nice return.
Jamar Fletcher with the tackle. After a 29-yard return by Damon Parker, Doug Peterson and the second unit will be on the field to see if they can put the Packers back in front. We'll return to Lambeau after these messages. You're watching the Packers Television Network.
Only the best deserves to be showcased. And now your Chrysler dealer is showcasing our most award-winning lineup of vehicles ever during the Chrysler Showcase sales event. Now on select minivans, get financing as low as 0.9% or get 1.9 APR for up to $4,500 in savings or a $2,000 cash allowance. So hurry to the Chrysler Showcase sales event today. Then you can showcase an award winner right in your own driveway.
Unauthorized dental provider.
Mr. Simmons.
Feeling a little restricted by your current dental plan? There is a better way. Ask your employer about direct reimbursement. Get the care you want from the dentist you choose. Call us or visit our website to find out more.
Oh, yes, I certainly have played those scratch-off games.
A fingernail really works fast.
I prefer using a dime.
Sometimes I use a bottle cap.
I know a bobby pin works.
You could probably use the tip of a straw. The Wisconsin Lottery presents TV Dough. Top prize $250 or $100 and a chance to win $50,000 more on the Money Game TV show.
I use my lucky guitar pick. They're all laughing.
Packer football, brought to you by Citgo, the team behind your favorite team. Enjoy the game. Your Wisconsin and Upper Michigan Chrysler dealers. And Fresh Like, the hometown leader in freshness and flavor.
The 2000 Jim Thorpe Award winner now playing in the base defense for the Dolphins. Jamar Fletcher, the first-round draft choice of the Dolphins out of Wisconsin, will get his chance against Charles Lee. Packers go first and 10. Doug Peterson up. Fakes the handoff, tosses to David Martin, the sixth-round draft choice, rumbling now near midfield, his first reception of the preseason. Making the conversion from wide receiver, and the Packers are just bubbling about this kid.
Well, it's nice to see a tight end catch the ball. I don't know if I should say that or not, but
too late.
Bubba Franks had a couple of drops today on catches that maybe one was right in his grasp. The other would have been a good catch, but that was also a very good catch. And granted, he is a wide receiver making the conversion to tight end.
Herbert Goodman with the catch, or excuse me, the run. Kenny Mixon on the tackle.
Well, you can still hear the helmets popping, Chris.
Doug Peterson, a superb preseason. And this week they waived Billy Joe Tolliver. Peterson, of course, struggled during the mini camps. They brought in Tolliver to push him for that #2 job. And then he responded. Peterson wins the job, was superb against the Broncos. See if he can lead a fourth-quarter comeback tonight. The Packers trailing the Dolphins 12-10. We come back for the final quarter. You're watching the Packers Television Network.
It's the law at Cops Food Centers.
The IGA Product Patrol is back. If we knock on your door, will you be ready? Stock up on all your favorite IGA products and win hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Or this sporty PT Cruiser. Plus, show us a Coca-Cola product and win free soda. The IGA Product Patrol. Are you ready?
It's the law at Cops Food Centers.
All the good things come to an end, don't they?
You can't be waiting around here, ladies and gentlemen. Inventories on some TVs are running low. You get the guaranteed lowest price. You don't pay a penny until 2002.
Buy a TV 32-inch screen or larger, and if Green Bay wins its first 6 regular season games,
the TV is free.
Now is the time to act.
Ha Hamlet, you must buy now. This promotion is not associated with, nor is it authorized by the Green Bay Packers or the National Football League.
It's going to be over soon.
Life's too short. Why shop anywhere else?
Does your chicken need a kick?
Introducing the new Baja Chicken Taco, made fresh from Taco Bell, loaded with marinated all-white meat chicken, spiked with zesty pepper jack sauce, and a cool Fiesta salsa. Only Taco Bell makes chicken this kickin'.
I told you this chicken was kicking.
The new Baja Chicken Taco from Taco Bell. Right now, buy 2 and get a medium Pepsi free. Now get in here.
It lives to hunt tornadoes. Viper.
Now the rain returns to Lambeau Field for the fourth quarter tonight. Miami leading at 12-10. 4 straight field goals for Olindo Mare. Doug Peterson now at the controls of the Packer offense, 2nd and 7. After Herbert Goodman gained 3 yards to end the third quarter. Peterson comes out, 3 wide receivers. Mike Horacek in the slot to the top of the screen. At the very top is Robert Ferguson, the Packers' 2nd-round pick. Charles Lee to the bottom. Peterson on the roll.
Oh, boy.
And that's why one of the reasons why he won the job from Billy Joe Tolliver. Mobility.
Not only mobility, Chris, but that was a great decision on his part. They had the out routes covered. Play action pass, designed with only 2 receivers into the pattern. Both of them were covered. And then the athletic ability takes over.
I noticed that Mark Tauscher, Brian, is still playing right tackle, which would mean something is wrong with Earl Dotson. The rest of the second unit ball on the ground. And this was a problem throughout the early portions of training camp, also dating back to the June minicamp. Bad center exchanges. It's Frank Winters at center and Doug Peterson at the controls, and the Dolphins have it. Tyrus McLeod, 2nd turnover for the Packers. McLeod pounces on it. So Miami will take over when we return to Lambeau, leading 12-10.
It's Toyota clearance time. Clearance happens just once a year, and you'll like the values on the summer's biggest inventory. Take the popular Corolla. We sold out of the 2001 models, so we're giving you savings on the new 2002 Corolla. Right now, get $500 customer cash back, or get a great low lease rate. It's up to you. How do you like it? Toyota's 2001 clearance, going on coast to coast.
Introducing the Main Street Deli from Roundy's. It's as close as you can get to homemade and not live with your mother. It's lean and tender cold cuts. It's delectable deli salads. It's tempting desserts. Even gourmet pizzas you can take and bake at home. Okay, so the macaroni salad has a little more celery than I'd add. But for not mine, it's pretty good.
Look for Roundy's Main Street Deli items at Pick and Save. It's the easy route to a great meal.
Didn't you just love Dad's special bacon cheeseburger loaded up with bacon just the way you liked it?
That's odd. Your dad didn't cook. He hasn't been allowed in the kitchen since the chopping board incident. You must be thinking of Hardee's new bacon cheeseburger. It's a fully loaded cheeseburger covered with strips of thicker bacon and then topped with even more crumbled bacon. And we'll handle the sharp utensils. Try Hardee's new bacon cheeseburger. Hardee's, the way food ought to be.
Welcome back to Lambeau Field. I'm with Amon Green, not playing tonight because of a groin injury. Amon, how bad is it? What's your timetable for your return?
It's not real bad. It's getting better now. Most of the soreness is out of it since last Friday, and right now it's more loosening up. Right now it's kind of tight on me, so we're trying to get it loose. And right now it's day to day, and hopefully I could get this Raider game in before we turn it up against Detroit.
And you want to play. This is these preseason games. You want to be out there.
Oh yeah, I mean it just kills me sitting on the sidelines watching. You know, it's kind of. I mean, I get to the point where I'm bored. I'd rather be out there taking a couple hits and dishing some hits out.
All right, Amon Green. Hopefully he will be back for the Raider game. If not for the Raider game, definitely for the season opener against the Lions September 9th.
Thank you very much, Andy. And Amon, Ray Lucas on the rollout, able to get 9.5 yards, bringing up a 2nd and short from midfield for the Dolphins. Ray Lucas never given a shot with the Jets, although he went 6-3 as a starter when Vinny Testaverde went down back in 1999. But Testaverde came back last year. Dolphins wanted a backup quarterback, so they went after Lucas. Lucas throws that one out. Jed Weaver, the intended receiver.
Getting a breakdown on the left side of the Green Bay Packers defense. I believe Billy Lyons is the defensive end outside. The statistics are there.
Third quarter stats. Look at the time of possession at the bottom. Dolphins 12:01. The Packers had just one possession and two plays rather, in another possession, and that may cost that man some playing time tonight. Henry Burris was supposed to get the fourth quarter. The Packers signed him out of the Canadian Football League. Hasn't had much chance, but finally got some reps in practice with the trade of Tolliver as the Dolphins pick up the first down. And Burris was supposed to see his first game action tonight, Brian, in the fourth quarter, but Doug Peterson has had just one shot so far, so you would expect him to continue the next time the Packers have the ball.
And that's really unfortunate, Chris, because I know most of the public viewing audience here would like to see Henry Burris. Everybody's heard so much about his strong arm and his athleticism, and he hasn't had a whole lot of reps, even in practice for that matter, with Peterson and Tolliver going over the battle.
And just when Tolliver gets waved, Michael Bishop comes on board. Well, Burris knows what that's all about. The CFL is a revolving door of personnel as well, so he knows he's got to win that third spot. Driven down to the ground, Scott McGarrahan with the tackle of Jed Weaver. 2nd down and about 6 for the Dolphins.
Talking to the defensive coaches earlier this week, Chris, the one thing that they wanted to do was when you have these guys out on the field, the 2nd and the 3rd unit guys, you can't afford the quarterback the opportunity to pick this team apart. So you're going to see a lot more blitzing. That was a blitz on that play. You're going to see a lot more blitzes with this unit than you have with the first unit.
We asked Coach Sherman about that yesterday in our meeting, because it sure seemed like there was a lot of blitzing going on with the Broncos the other night. You've seen it in other games if you've been watching on TV, and that's the reason why. Help out guys up front who aren't the top-tier pass rushers.
Nice play by Torrance Marshall. Wow. Great play by that young kid.
Takes out Vaughn Sanders and what looked like it was going to be a pretty big gainer, Brian.
You see him fight off the blocker right there. Good size, good strength, get to the ball. Earlier in the Cleveland game, Chris, I think he got so confused out there that he actually at times quit on plays. Here, great example of getting off, fighting through the block, and I think he's learning the game of football at the professional level. He's got everything. He's got the tools. He just needs to gain the confidence.
Gilbert Brown comes out. Ray Lucas calls a timeout here. The first timeout used by the Dolphins in the second half, facing a 3rd down and 4 from the Packers' 42-yard line. While they talk it over, we'll step aside and come back to Lambeau Field after these messages. You're watching the Packers Television Network.
When a law firm has built such a reputation for winning in court that most cases are settled without a trial,
When a law firm lists more past presidents of state and national trial lawyer associations, more attorneys and the best lawyers in America, and more board-certified trial attorneys than any other personal injury law firm in Wisconsin. And when this law firm offers the same no-fee unless you win arrangement as any other firm, only one thought remains. Habush, Habush, and Rotier. Why choose anyone else?
Make a drab room come alive with a sun tunnel skylight from Menard. The sun tunnel showers you with the beauty of natural light, plus get the benefit of lower lighting bills on sale, just $199. Top your home off with the wood shake look of Biltmore laminated shingles. 25-year shingles at $10.97 a bundle. 40-year only $13.97 a bundle. Menards is tops at saving you money.
Save big money at Menards.
How's this for an adrenaline rush? Get a 2001 Chevy Silverado half-ton extended cab four-wheel drive and take advantage of up to $2,500 in combined cash back and factory-to-dealer cash incentives. See dealer for residency and other restrictions. Or hurry in for a 2001 Chevy S10 with $2,500 cash back. Makes your boats quicken just thinking about it. Get great offers on select Chevy trucks. See your local Chevy dealer.
Now the rain coming down still at Lambeau Field. Our crew braving the elements tonight to bring you preseason football. Miami leading at 12-10. 12 unanswered points by the Dolphins.
It looks like a little wet poodle sitting up there.
Third down 4 after the timeout. Lucas at quarterback.
There are certain events that people
Vaughn Sanders with the reception, and that is enough for a first down at the 38. So the drive continues for Miami. Well, we haven't seen a lot of Matt Turk lately. Since the first quarter.
What this defense needs to do is create a turnover right now. They should be. I mean, granted, these are young football players out there, but anytime a team gets into a situation like that where they've sustained a number of drives, you got to start cognizantly thinking about turnovers and getting the ball out, making a play.
7th play of the drive. Sanders. Nice play out there on the left end, holding the point of attack. Donnie Spragan. Billy Lyon in on the tackle.
Donnie Spragan, coach, actually had some very positive things to say about this young man, that he's fighting for a roster spot. How well he performs today and on special teams might be indicative of whether he sticks around or not.
Out of football last year, played in NFL Europe this spring, was on injured reserve with the Saints in '99. Of course, forced to fumble the other night against the Broncos. 2nd down, 11. Sanders. Down he goes. Big Devon Claybrooks, who had the interception against the Browns. Another tackle for loss here in the 3rd and long situation for the Dolphins.
Younger players getting the opportunity to play, and these individuals are making the most of it, and for some it might be their last hurrah. Good job at the point attack by Curry. Torrance Marshall around getting into the mix. Claybrooks just a tremendous play from his defensive tackle spot.
Rookie free agent out of East Carolina. 3rd down long for the Dolphins. Incomplete. Lucas going for Robert Baker. Corey Chamberlain on the coverage, breaking it up. You asked for Matt Turk, you'll get Matt Turk.
I know a lot of
First Dolphins punt in a long time in just the 2nd of the game.
I know a lot of these guys don't want to hear the word Turk right about now.
Yeah, he comes calling, and for most guys it'll probably be tomorrow.
7:30 in the morning.
The roster cut down, his deadline is Tuesday, but most teams will do it right after that game. Mike Sherman told us he likes to do it on an off day so guys don't have to come into the locker room when other players are around. That ball down at the 5-yard line. Arturo Freeman downs it. The Packers will start from their own 5, and Doug Peterson will come back out. Brett Favre obviously done for the night, but he did get his first touchdown of the preseason. Dolphins lead at 12-10.
Things are definitely grooving at McDonald's during the Big Mac Summer Groove Sweepstakes, featuring our Big Mac family of tastes. Just imagine pulling into a Mickey D's drive-thru and ordering a delicious Mac Jr. sandwich for only 99 cents. Behind the wheel of the coolest car today, a new Volkswagen Beetle. But the only way to do that, or to win other fabulous prizes, is by logging on and entering. So eat up, log on, and get groovy.
People of legal drinking age should enjoy alcohol responsibly, but don't drink if you're under 21.
Crown Royal, the legendary import.
When you're passionate about getting every detail right, you need windows that get every detail right. Anderson Windows. Long live the home.
Don't miss a post-pounding minute of Packer preseason football. The Packers rumble with the Raiders Friday at 8 on WBAY TV2. Coverage you can count on.
The Packers backed up to their own 5-yard line. Doug Peterson out for his second series of work. The last one entered on a bad exchange between Frank Winters and Doug Peterson that the Dolphins recovered. Damon Parker takes it out to about the 9-yard line, and you see right in front of Damon Parker, number 65, Mark Tauscher, still in at right tackle. Why? Let's go down to Andy Kendi.
Chris, there's a very good reason why Mark Tauscher is back in the game. Earl Dotson has left the game with back spasms. I know a lot of Packer fans do not want to hear that, but Earl Dotson was supposed to play the entire second half, but he has left, and that means Mark Tauscher will finish things up at right tackle.
Well, that's a lot of playing time for that young man.
And that is some bad news for Earl Dotson. Of course, missed almost all of last year with the back. Wound up having 2 back surgeries. Big gainer to Charles Lee from Doug Peterson. And finishing the thought on Earl Dotson. Brian, you don't want to speculate, but anytime you say back with a guy like Earl Dotson, who's had back troubles throughout his career, you worry.
And also because of the decisions that have to be made regarding that position in the backup. Everybody has been wondering if they're going to move Mark Tauscher to guard, where Mike Wall has struggled at times, and obviously that is not a consideration at this point with Earl Dotson's health where it is, unable to continue to be consistently on the field.
Well, Barry Stokes can swing and play both tackle positions, but been mostly at left tackle in camp. That ball batted down. Scott Gallion, the linebacker, with the knockdown, bringing up 2nd down and 10.
That also makes it interesting for the rest of this preseason. Now, I remember a couple years back, Frank Winters had to play the entire preseason, every game, every snap. And now Mark Tauscher is going to be in a situation where today he's going to get every rep. And then against Oakland, he'll probably, for the most part, take them all. They might be able to spell him a little bit. But that really puts a strain on the offensive line, and especially Mark Tauscher.
2nd down 10, Peterson, David Martin. Martin gets the first down.
Wow.
He's put on about 25 pounds, I think, since the end of his college season. And Ron Wolf, I remember on draft night, Brian, he said, this guy could be the steal of the draft.
Well, you can see he's got tremendous speed and great hands. Turns it upfield. He's got more speed than any tight end on Green Bay's roster right now. And he's doing the little extra things that you like to see. The catch, the run, trying to get over the tackle, and more importantly, getting the first down.
2 catches, 26 yards for David Martin. He had a viral infection that took him out of the Cleveland game. Did play against the Broncos, but didn't have a catch. Damon Parker.
See ya.
Damon Parker to the races.
Oh, no.
Parker down to the 7.
Why did he quit?
I want to see him cool off his feet. 52-yard gain for Damon Parker.
Why did he quit?
Check it, 54 yards. Remember the old hot feet in '99 when he had those big games?
Great blocking up front and just acceleration through the hole. And Devon Parker has him right here. Why does he stop? Good speed. He's one of the fastest guys on the team. I don't know why he tries to set that guy up right there.
As Jamar Fletcher that saved the touchdown. Sets up the Packers first and goal. 8-yard line. Doug Peterson's got to call timeout. Mike Horacek didn't know the play, couldn't hear him. And Peterson has to burn the Packers first timeout.
There are certain events that people are proud to be part of, and Camp Jeep is one of them. But the only way to get there is in a Tackle Anything Jeep 4x4. And right now, you can get into one during the Camp Jeep sales event at your Jeep dealer. Don't miss final closeout time on 2001 models, featuring great deals on your favorite Jeep vehicles. And take advantage of the biggest factory-to-dealer incentives of the year. So hurry in, because the only way to get out there is to get here first. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
Hey guys.
Nice hat.
Hey!
Back the pack with this sporty Packers ball cap from Citgo. It's yours for only $5.99 with an 8-gallon fill-up. Plus, you can enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to Super Bowl 36. Come into Citgo and show your Green Bay spirit. Great hats.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in my Ford, let's go for a drive.
It's Ford's model year closeout with $1,500 cash back or low 0.9 financing on Ford F-150, the best-selling pickup 24 years straight.
I used the $1,500 cash back towards my down payment. Didn't even know I could do that.
$1,500 cash back or low 0.9 financing. Plus, from now until September 4th, get a bed liner and side step bars at no extra charge. It's Ford's model year closeout at your Packerland Ford stores.
First and goal for the Packers from the Miami 8-yard line. 6:50 left to go here in the ball game tonight. Damon Parker with that 54-yard scamper down to the 8. Parker now with 7 carries for 72 yards. And thanks to the timeout, Parker able to stay in the game. Chris Gall, the fullback, 6th play of the drive. Charles Lee up top. Parker. Call it the 4-yard line.
Mark Tauscher's going to be so tired, he's not going to be able to get up.
You saw him you saw him bent over in that pile, and that's what you worry about, having to play the whole game.
Well, you can't say he won't be in shape come the regular season.
Second down and goal from the 4. Toss sweep to Parker. Damon Parker taking it home. There he is. Cool those babies off. Damon Parker drives the bus on the Packers' second touchdown drive of the evening. 54 yards down to the 8. Takes it home the rest of the way. Ryan Longwell's point after is good, and the Packers reclaim the lead 17-12 over the Dolphins. Damon Parker, well, don't write him off just yet, Brian.
That snap came out of there on the ground on that extra point. Lucky Doug Peterson got a hand down to scoop it up. Let's take a look at the run. You got excellent blocking out front. They got the corner that's, you can see right there, Mark Tauscher pinned the defensive lineman back inside, opened up the hole. A good lead block by Chris Gall. You'll see Chris Gall right there. Great block kicking it out. Mark Tauscher pinning him inside. Great blocking. And there's the cool feet.
Damon Parker, 62 of the 68 yards on that touchdown drive to put the Packers back in front of the Dolphins, 17-12.
What a difficult decision for the Green Bay Packers to make, because one of those 3 running backs, you figured Amon Green and Dorsey Levens aren't even suited up tonight. So there you've got 2 of the better running backs in the NFL. And then you throw in these three guys, somebody's going to end up playing for another team, and they're going to end up with an awfully good football player.
There's the vitals on the Packers go-ahead drive with 6:07 left to go. It had been punt, 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 punt before that.
Maybe Green Bay.
Punt, 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 fumble.
Maybe Green Bay has found another Mr. August.
Well, the old Mr. August is having himself a pretty good night, by the way. Matt Hasselbeck has thrown 3 touchdown passes in the first quarter. In their game at San Francisco. Ben Kelly, the kick return. Kelly still on his feet. Down he goes at the 25. David Martin in on the tackle. Martin had some key catches. 10-yard return for Kelly. And Ray Lucas will remain the quarterback for the Dolphins.
That David Martin kid is going to bring something extra to the team. Having the ability, a la Tyrone Davis, now that he's not available for who knows how long. You can tell he's kind of fatigued. These guys aren't used to it, but the heat that Green Bay has experienced over the last few weeks, they just haven't had a time to condition some of these athletes.
Lucas back to pass. Out pass to Baker. Ridden out of bounds by Ben Young. Excuse me, Sam Young. Mike Sherman looking on, trying to win back-to-back games here at Lambeau.
Has to be a little bit more relieved with the execution of his offense on that last series.
First down 10 for the Dolphins. Sanders the tailback, Lucas back to pass. Nobody there as he was looking for a little Corey Bridges.
They need to come up with a turnover right now to put this game away for the most part and create some excitement for the defensive side of the ball. Early on, everybody will recall Darren Sharper came up with an interception early in the first quarter, set up a score.
Lucas 7 out of 10 on the night. Cade McNown, by the way, is here tonight. The Dolphins acquired him, of course, in a trade with Chicago. Mike Sherman telling us, by the way, that all the talk about the Packers' perceived interest in Cade McNown is pretty much overblown. But anyway, he's with the Dolphins, won't play tonight.
Beautiful catch.
That was little Corey Bridges, 5'7".
Him and Gizzy could have
Cade McNown.
And it was interesting to see Coach Sherman, who has knowledge of Cade McNown from UCLA, from his days at UCLA, knows the people there, the coaches there, and that the way he described Cade McNown is a different kind of a person than what everybody perceives him to be.
Well, he was a different person in college, and apparently he was when he got to Chicago and the limelight and the money and everything else, but he's hoping for a fresh start in Miami. Dante Curry with a head start. Jed Weaver with the catch. Dolphins first down. Donnie Spragan on the tackle, number 53. There is a flag. Check that. I don't think there is a.
Nope, no flag.
No flag.
Should have been a flag.
Looked like he had a head start.
I think Dante Curry came off that corner just a little bit early.
Dolphins with their 18th first down of the night. Trying to answer the Packers' touchdown drive. They trail by 5. Lucas, quick drop, gets out of trouble. Aaron Fields, who was just picked up, number 95 this week, on waivers from the Cowboys. Some pressure there on Lucas, forcing him out of the pocket. And the incomplete pass sets up 2nd and 10.
Caved down the right side of the Miami Dolphins offensive line, but unfortunately he got caught inside, giving Lucas the outside escape. Very difficult pass for a quarterback to come across his body running the same direction. You can see the pressure inside, and then the off-foot throw fly from Lucas just couldn't make the connection.
Second down and 10. Sanders, the lone setback behind Lucas. Billy Lyon chasing. Little Corey Bridges goes up high for the catch. Dante Curry sits him down quickly. That will set up about a 3rd and 4.
God, you got to love when you get a shot at a little guy like that as a linebacker.
You couldn't hit a guy that little. Dante Curry's just...
I couldn't catch the guy, but you're
6'1", but that's generous.
You're going to see some punishment right here. Oh, look at his feet. Oh, you love those shots.
You're too tall to hit a guy 5'7".
I couldn't catch a guy that big. That quick.
He'd go right over his head. 3rd and 4. 3 wide receivers. Jed Weaver working like an H-back now. Overthrown Bridges. And back comes the punting unit for the Dolphins with 4:28 to go in the game.
Good job stopping the offense. Green Bay's defense coming up with the plays when necessary, and then Lucas just a couple bad throws. See Allen Rawson back deep. He is always a threat with his speed, and Chris referenced the alternate Pro Bowl bid that he had last year. Wouldn't be surprised if Turk doesn't try to pooch this punt.
He's going for the corner.
That's about as good as pooch as you're going to get.
Little backspin on that lob wedge at the 3-yard line. 39-yard kick, but the Packers started that last drive deep, and we're able to drive for a touchdown, so we'll see what they do this time.
Oh, Henry Burris coming out at quarterback.
We do have a Henry Burris sighting. Doug Peterson did his job, so Henry Burris played with Saskatchewan last year in the CFL.
I wonder if he ever did any fishing up there.
Tell you what, he threw the ball quite a bit. 576 attempts a year ago with the Rough Riders in 16 games. Didn't play the whole season.
And didn't play the whole season?
No. Peterson finished the night 3 of 4 for 44 yards. Henry Burris hands off to Whisper Goodman. Takes it out just over the 5. You wonder if Henry's going to have a chance to throw the ball here, as the Packers will probably want to work some clock.
Well, they'll try to catch some clock here, but at the same time, if they don't sustain this drive and get a first down, he'll get his opportunities.
Tom Shaw in at center. 8 carries, 18 yards for Goodman.
Bill Ferrario at guard.
Yeah, Billy's been in there the second half, the 4th-round pick out of Wisconsin. Badger reunion out here tonight. Ferrario, Tauscher, Fletcher, Chambers, Kevin Stempke. Goodman cut back.
Excellent piece of
Close to the first down for Herbert Goodman. Wally Ogunleye with the tackle. Thank you very much. I've been practicing for days. Number 90.
Look at the offensive line blocking. Ferrario turning back, gets his guy. Great cut by...
Look at old Ogunleye. I'm going to say it as much as I can here.
Okay, I'll let you say it.
Actually, his first name is Adewale.
Adewale?
Yeah, but he prefers to go by Wally, and we thank him for that.
You guys are tight, huh?
No, it's just what I've been told. 3rd and inches for the Packers. Henry Burris' first action as a Green Bay Packer. Executes the handoff, and Herbert Goodman has the first down. Arturo Freeman with the tackle. And now a little room to work with. Let's see if old Henry gets to air it out and show off the arm.
And that's Doug Peterson's first snap that he took in the Cleveland game was a kneel down.
As nice a guy as you want to be.
Yes.
Henry Burris is just a pleasure.
And he's consistently the guy that they got to kick out of the facility. He stays around, he studies tape. He was here all offseason once he signed, sticking his nose in the playbook, and just, as Chris referenced, just a wonderful human being.
Several teams vying for his services, but he comes to Green Bay. That's a Herbert Goodman fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage. As we get to the 2-minute warning. Right. No, well, they stopped it at 2:01. I'm not really sure why. But it is the 2-minute warning, and Henry Burris comes to the sideline. Packers leading at 17-12. It is a timeout.
Yep, here it is.
What?
the card. It's worth 50 big ones, 50, 50 bucks free.
Go ahead and explain.
Well, this card is what American's giving out to everyone who walks in the store. It's a $50 gift card, good for purchases over $300, and you can even use it today.
And it's free.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see. American guarantees you the low market price. There's no interest financing for 12 months, and American's just handing out free $50 gift cards?
You got it.
Actually, I'm getting mine now. See ya.
Dare to compare Mercury at the Mercury Summer Sales Event. With 0.9 financing on every 2001 Mercury, including Mercury Sable with $14.95 and great no-charge features, and a lease of just $2.99 a month for 36 months with $19.14 cash due at signing after $2,000 cash back. Plus, click on DareToCompareMercury.com, where Sable LS Premium is over $5,200 less than Camry XLE. So dare to compare Mercury at the Mercury Summer Sales Event today.
While we were gone, Herbert Goodman picked up nothing to set up 3rd and 10, and that brings up the 2-minute warning. The Dolphins had actually called timeout as they attempt to try and get the ball back using their second timeout. They have 1 remaining, and now they get the 2-minute warning. So 3rd and 10, let's see, Henry Burris may get a chance to finally throw that thing.
Well, Chris, it's nice to see the significance of the preseason games coming to light here. Obviously, this means something to the Miami Dolphins for them to consider calling a timeout with only 1 timeout left before the 2-minute warning in order to get them an opportunity to possibly get the ball back. And the reasoning for that is purely obvious, is that trying to establish some sort of confidence in your football team. And here, needless to say, Coach Sherman would love to have that home field advantage that Coach Mike Holmgren had established back in the early 90s.
Burris gets to play. He comes back in. Mike Horacek is in. We haven't seen him even throw a pass to Robert Ferguson tonight. Brian, you talked about establishing some home field dominance as we take a look at the Packers in the first 7 weeks, opening up with the Lions. Of course, a Monday nighter here against the Washington Redskins. A couple of road games. Back-to-back games there at Tampa, home against Baltimore, and then on the road at Minnesota. That's a tough stretch.
Well, that stretch right there, those 3 games right in there are going to be, needless to say, Carolina's been a spoiler for them the last couple of years. But that 3-game stretch right in there, that is going to be a very, very difficult. It'll be a telling story of how their season's going to go. If they can get through that with some victories, it will bode well for them down the future, because everybody is well aware of how well they performed at the end of last year. That was part of the great feeling around here, is how well they finished, maintaining all of the players that they did in the offseason.
3 wide receivers for the Packers. Henry Burris gives to Herbert Goodman. They cross him up. Herbert Goodman takes it out of bounds at the 50-yard line. A big gainer for Whisper Goodman.
What a stable of running backs. I mean, a decision that nobody's going to want to make, but watch the blocking outside. Excellent job outside, turning the corners, and then this is just pure speed. Herbert Goodman probably has more speed than the other guys.
And right there he realizes, what am I doing? We're supposed to run out the clock. I ran out of bounds. 32 yards on the carry for Whisper Goodman. After this play, we'll give you our Chrysler Jeep Player of the Game. 13 carries now, 59 yards. That run certainly helping his per carry average. Goodman again, this time stays in bounds.
I just see poor Mark Tauscher laying down there. That poor guy is so tired.
Ogunleye with the tackle. Thank you very much. Dolphins burn their final timeout. Brian, let's
Ogunleye,
our Chrysler Jeep Player of the Game tonight. Here he comes, Mr. Hot Feet. Damon Parker, 9 carries, 80 yards, 1 reception for 16 yards, and of course the touchdown. The big carry, 54 yards. Tonight, Damon Parker, our Chrysler Jeep Player of the Game.
It's going to be interesting to see the significance of the injury to Rondell Mealy and what that does to the two guys that we have been showcasing in this second half.
I think coming into tonight, it certainly appeared that Mealy was the guy for that third running back position, but now we're going out with the ankle early in the first quarter. That gives Parker and Goodman new life. But as you mentioned in the pregame show, Brian, that cut probably won't be made until it's all over, because obviously Levens and Green probably aren't going to play against the Raiders.
Another excellent cut by Herbert Goodman. Unfortunately lost his feet. Turf had something to do with that, but excellent cutting ability, trying to establish himself against the grain.
Want to thank Chevy tonight. They're the sponsor of our sack of the game. But we don't have a sack of the game, so as long as they sack the Dolphins on the scoreboard, everybody will be happy. Our thanks to Chevy. By the way, Dorsey Levens, they're getting close to figuring out what he's going to wear on that hand. They think they'll have him for the regular season opener. They've been talking with the Giants because Tiki Barber has a similar injury. They think they've got something he can wear and still play with after that broken hand he suffered against the Browns. Of course, he suffered that early in the game and managed to play for a while. But they'll have some sort of protection, and they've been working with a few different things. But Coach Sherman thought they had it nailed down after working with the Giants trainers.
Some sort of apparatus?
Wow. You've used synchronicity and apparatus tonight. You want to sit down?
I think I'm pretty much brain dead after those two words.
Kevin Stepke.
Hey!
He's going to have to punt this thing. There's not enough time left on the play clock, so he will punt. Kevin Stepke, the last Badger to see action tonight. He'll take the 5 yards. That leaves 10 seconds on the clock.
Tells you, Chris, about the success that the University of Wisconsin has enjoyed in the past few years. What is there, 5 or 6 guys here from that team? From those teams?
I believe it's 5. Of course, the Badgers starting off today with a win. 27-16, I believe it was. 26-17. Badgers over Virginia. And here comes Stepke. A line drive. Scotty McGarrahan, and they're cheering at Howie's in Albuquerque. The former Lobo ends it. And the Packers beat the Dolphins 17-12. Back-to-back wins at Lambeau for Green Bay. Dave Wanstadt's troubles at Lambeau continue, but then again, it is just the preseason. Green Bay now will go on to finish up against the Raiders in the preseason on Friday night. Dolphins go home to play the Vikings to close out their exhibition. They fall to 1-3. Mike Sherman and company now 2-1. 17-12 the final. Brian Noble, Andy Kenny, myself will come back to wrap this thing up from Lambeau after these messages. Packers win it. You're watching the Packers Television Network.